pictures and give it, I mean, like the moon. Like it's hard for me to explain, but I know
Yeah.
like you guys don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So, but
But I'm saying to you,
what I
so
believe.
like it's like specifically like some like
Aye.
say you were like I was for the jungle and a tribe or something, and you were trying to prove to me that the Earth was a globe. What would you be able to present?
Uh Probably just show him a bunch of uh pictures or something. You know what I mean?
Ah, that's what I'm saying. So like
Right, right. So
basically the TV.
Aye, pretty much.
So do you think that that's enough for you to base your entire reality?
Well, it's just what we grew up believing.
I
What
know,
we
I
were taught in
understand, brother.
school.
I know I got taught the same. Everybody in this room, probably at most 99%, if not everybody in the server, got taught exactly the same, mate. And it's reinforced by the media. Everybody believes it. But what do you think backs it up, like in reality, like in your life and your experiences you've grew up? Is there anything that's like backed all these things you've been taught up?
No, no, really. Just well, like it's not the fact that that I don't just believe that the Earth is a globe. I believe that space exists and stuff. Like I've seen a lot of arguments saying that like the moon, like the moon is like a see-through kind of thing, and I just find it quite
Well,
strange if I'm being fully honest.
you can see stars through the
Aye,
moon,
but
and you can.
that just through isn't that just through pictures though that you believe that?
No, I mean, it can be seen. It's been documented. I've seen like a video of it as well. It's not just
But
a.
exactly, that's the point, right? You see it through
Uh,
videos. Those videos could be photoshopped, they could be edited to make it look like a.
well,
If I
but
mean,
it's been like documented by people for centuries regarding this. See, if you look at like a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, a lot of their flags have got the crescent moon or that like the half moon or whatever, and there's a star in the middle of it, and I think that's depicting exactly what we've been seeing. But man, so these things up in the sky, fair enough. We can't verify what they are, but what's
mm,
back on Earth, like something that you've experienced on Earth. No,
yeah.
something you see up there. Just something that like you can say, right? I seen this one day, or
um, well, like I
That
say,
fits into the scientific method, preferably. But even if it's not that, it's still just good to understand why we believe in the globe Earth. It's a very good self-reflectory exercise.
so homie. That's what I'm saying.
I
Have you ever seen anything? Like, have you ever seen any curvature on the Earth?
um, nay, no, well, no, not myself, no,
Right, and have you ever felt the Earth move?
no, I haven't.
So would you agree then that
Congratulations.
would you agree then that you experienced the Earth to be flat and stationary?
Uh, well, it might look like that, and well, it might seem like that from where we are right now on the Earth, but
So
um,
you, that's what I'm saying. So you do
Yeah.
experience it
but
flat and stationary, then, right?
what I think is that why would the government and all these
But bro,
people
but
think
mate, there's a
Right, but
million
it's a
reasons
you,
for
you're
why. Bro, there's a million reasons to ask why.
yeah.
But do you know? See, if you were like a detective at a murder scene, would you ask why
Mm,
first, or would you investigate the information?
oh yeah,
yeah,
that's true, that's fair enough.
that's evidence.
So you know
You
your
look
best like
evidence and then you find motive. That's the last stage, and sometimes it's not even necessary. A lot of the time in crime
the
court
motives.
cases, motive isn't even established because you're dealing with psychopaths, and there in those cases you only
Where
judge
did we
based on the
go?
evidence.
What did we go there?
Sorry.
Did we go from talking about flat Earth to psychopaths? How did that
We're
work?
talking about how to
So
deal with evidence versus motive.
Yeah.
so homie,
Aye.
do you think would you say that you're best like looking at the ground that you walk before you like point to the sky or point to TV or and if we can't verify any of these things, I think like I mean, there's people been doing laser tests. There's long range observations of like 270 miles, the longest photograph. With infrared cameras, it's like 1,200 miles. And with microwave transmissions, it's thousands of miles. We know the size of this ball that we've been told that we live on. So because of that number, we can obviously work out how like between a point to another point over a certain distance, we can work out how much curvature there should be. Now, there's people shooting lasers, and as I say, with cameras, infrared cameras, microwaves, they can see a hell of a lot further than what we're supposed to be able to see. The size of this ball is a finite size. It's a specific size. And it
Yeah.
was found thousands of years ago. The Greeks supposedly found it with some sticks in the ground and some holes, like some wells. So, would you see if you were measuring a carpet for your living room?
Aye.
Would you measure the roof?
No, you wouldn't.
Exactly. And as I said,
Yeah.
like the
That's what it
analogy,
is.
like a murder detective, you're not going to ask why till you look at the information. So
Yeah.
we look at
Yeah,
water.
and
You've been in the ocean. You mean you're from Scotland? We're surrounded by water. Have you
Aye.
been to the ocean on a calm day?
Aye, yeah,
Yeah.
I have, aye.
Well, see
Aye.
when you look at the ocean, it's
Aye,
flat, right?
aye, it does look like aye.
You know that water always seeks its level, doesn't it?
Aye, yeah, I know.
Right. So if that's the case, right, and especially if you go to a lake or something, it's constantly flat. But the ocean, especially on a calm day, you go and look at it, it's quite blinding how flat it is. It's really obvious, man, when you think about it. But if 71% of this Earth's surface, so that's almost 3/4 of
right.
this Earth's surface, is water trying to find its equilibrium, seeking level and laying flat. The surface of
Yeah.
water, unmanipulated by waves, wind, tides, whatever, some energy get put into the system, it will move. But as soon as that energy dissipates, water seeks level and lays flat again.
That's
How
right.
can we be a ball of water?
Aye, yeah, I see. No, I
It's
understand.
impossible, bro. Honestly, it's no improbable. It is literally fucking impossible.
Yeah,
man.
but I think, thing is, people need to come to these conclusions themselves, and I think that a lot of
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
yeah, for sure. And this is very like intriguing. People who believe in the globe, who seek out flat Earth channels. So I actually what I want to do is I want to reflect a question back here, because what we find is a lot of these globe believers who enter flat Earth channels. So
Yeah.
I want to actually reflect the question back here and ask these visitors who are, interrupting normal conversation, and I want to
No, he's
ask,
not, mate. No, he's
what is?
not, mate. He's
No, I'm
getting
not saying.
checked in, bro. He's getting checked in, and that's what I'm literally trying to do.
No, it's all
Throw
good.
the,
It's
I'm
all good.
trying, bro.
I'm not
I'm
judging.
trying,
Not
bro.
judging. I'm not.
No, but he's not interrupting me. It's a free place. I should have been doing this and checking it. I'm literally just trying to get him to the point where the questions that I've asked get him to come to his own
Yes. Okay.
conclusion. Know that
Yeah.
I'm trying to say this is what it is and that's what it is. Literally before they get checked, and I just literally try and get them to come to
Sure.
these conclusions themselves, so they're not having to believe me, they're not having to accept the stuff that I'm saying by fact. These
Yeah,
conclusions
and
are brought on your own, and if you come to them yourself, it's not like you're having to say, well, that guy sounds like he's trustworthy, but I don't know whether to believe him. That's right, like Socratically questioning people to get them to come to these conclusions themselves.
right.
That's it.
I
don't.
just think it's interesting, because I think that we have a lot of these cases in the Flat Earth channel where we get these visits by people, and I think global believers who enter channel have a lot of different motivations for it. So that's why personally I think it's interesting to get a feel for why people visit and make this kind of inquisition. And so I wanna ask that question. Why do you seek out these Flat Earth channels? Why is that interesting to you?
Are you talking to me?
I already said.
Yeah.
I already
I
said.
I said that to start then. Good.
Yeah, but to be fair, we usually keep this channel open for people that want to question. So yeah, I mean, we have, I mean, far be it from us having just an echo chamber in here and just us flat earthers talking amongst ourselves. It's good, We refined our arguments and our the topic of flat Earth, but we do want to keep it open for challenging discussions. I like for people
Yeah,
to come
in
in here.
moderation. Yeah, in moderation.
Well,
Yeah.
but here's the deal, though,
Well,
Sky
we
Gazer.
just,
Like
we just came.
we've been doing this for quite some time. The moderators in here, and Panto is pretty seasoned in doing this. So I've seen him in action, doing it, and I know that he can carry his weight when it comes to that. And I know that people come in here and they ask the most redundant questions, but they they have to go through the process just like we all did. You know, it's unfair for us to kind of, you know, cut them off at the knees and throw them out the door. You know, so I think
maybe, you know, maybe let's use another strategy here and state that instead of saying that it's unfair, let's state the strategy of this channel. So is the strategy of this channel to convert Globers to
That's
flat
not
earthers?
what I was doing,
no,
bro.
it's
That's
no,
not
check it
what I
out.
was doing. I was
No,
literally
listen,
just trying to
it's
take them in.
the thing is it's presenting the information that they haven't heard of before. So a conversion happens on one's own self. Let's say you get presented some information. You do with it what you will. I mean, you go and think about it, come back, and you're like, hey, you know, I thought about this information, I checked it out, and it works out. Or, you know, you want to keep on believing that it's a globe. That's up to you. But, you know, we're going to present to you all the information that we can, that we know, to challenge your ideas and your belief system, so that when you come back, or if you don't come back, you know, you'll have something to think about. And I think that's what this is. You know, like it's built on that premise that we're gonna come together, and you know, that's what we're all here for. You know, we're here to learn from each other. And I think the best thing that people take away from here is that they hear things that they haven't heard of before. You know, so it's challenging. You know, that's what we're about.
Well, I think, you know, if you have a flat Earth channel, you have two ways you can go about it. You can say that this is a channel for flat Earth people to discuss ideas that flat Earth people want to discuss, or you can say that this is a flat Earth channel and we're going to invite Globers and then we're going to debate them, and then hopefully at some point they'll come back and maybe they'll
well, it doesn't. Yeah, that
or
doesn't.
maybe they're not, or we're going to have a continuous discussion.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
That's how it works. This is
well, not really.
These are the two options.
No, it's not really how it works.
I've been trying to get him checked in for ages, so that's why I said they'll just check him here. But if you want to, check in.
Well, to be fair though, you know, Panto, it's supposed to be like open for every. Like, it's not just checking; it's for open discussions. We want to have, you know, some really groundbreaking, you know, thought processes happening here. So in order to do that, we need to challenge people on their thinking. You know, even the flat earthers talking to other flat earthers.
How do you go about acquiring those thought-provoking thought process? Like, when does that happen?
Like,
how is that encouraged?
Well, like what Panto was doing just a while ago. Like, he's actually presenting some information to the homie Bud. I think he said his name. But the homie Bud wants
that's groundbreaking. It's opening
up, to the homie Bud
obvious reality to someone uninformed. That's
absolutely
a groundbreaking reality.
Absolutely, because here's the thing, right?
So it is about
Skygazer, hang on. Let me finish.
People who don't understand things.
Skygazer, you're gonna have to let me finish, bro. Like, I really want to finish what I'm saying so that you can understand where we're coming from. So basically, and I muted you just for a second. So basically, it's just us, you know, giving other people information, and we want them to get to know Flat Earth. And in order for them to do that, they need to ask us the obvious questions. Yes, it's obvious to these guys, and I know that it's plain to see with the eyes. You go out into the beach and it looks flat, but we have to kind of tell them, because it's like, I don't know if you want to call it like a spell, or, you know, they're under this you know, assumption that the, you know, science and mainstream you know, has been giving them this information all the time, so it must be true. So we have to tell them, no, it's what your senses actually perceive. That's what it is. So yeah, we do tell them the obvious, and it has to be said. I'm gonna unmute you now. Yeah, but that's basically what all I wanted to say, is just that's why we have to tell them the obvious.
Right.
It's important for us to say that.
Yeah. So if I can respond real quick,
go ahead.
I'll try to keep it short. I think that what a lot of people are upset about in this particular Flat Earth channel is Flat Earth people who want to investigate the ideas that come up as a natural result of having understood the globe Earth lie. They want to have a space where they can discuss these deeper concepts, like, you know, nature of Antarctica, nature of the sun, the concept of God, what is the other lies, you know, this whole global agenda, these kind of things. They want to discuss those topics, but a lot of Flat Earth people are disappointed when they come here and they find out that, well, it's just another channel where it's globers debating Flat Earth people. And you have a community here of, you know, 30, 40, 50
something. This is
something.
all sorts of things, this channel.
Yep.
This is whatever you want to make it.
Well, No, a lot of people get the impression that this is 90% globe versus flat Earth debates.
They
This
don't
is
know
how
what
it's
this place
perceived.
is, then, do they?
Yeah, I agree. They
Yeah.
don't. They
Well,
don't really know.
that's what happens. This is the reputation, I guess,
Well,
regardless of
yeah, but that's
whether
fine,
there's
Sticky.
some
I
other
mean,
debates happening.
look, and this is where it boils down to. Like, if you actually want to talk to more flat earthers and just flat earthers, you could take them. There's plenty of channels in here. You could take a couple of guys and be like, hey, let's go talk about this one particular. Let's go talk about Antarctica and just flat Earth. People talk about it. That's fine. But the live stream is really open up for people so they can hear others kind of getting their thoughts challenged. That's what
Right.
we try to do. We want people to hear that. The audience that listens
Yes.
to these discussions, it's important for us for them to hear other globe Earth believers coming in here and asking those questions, so they can hear them, like the lurkers and all that, the ones who are not speaking. They're the ones that are actually going to benefit from that conversation that sounds redundant. And to you might sound like, why are we having this conversation? It's interrupting, good flat Earth topics. But at the same time, the guy who's actually listening on YouTube or whatever is going to really pick up and say, hey, I was thinking the same thing this guy's saying. So, you know what I mean? Like, it answers their questions. So I don't know. I want to put that out there. I think the guy left, but yeah, we want to keep it open for that. So
Yeah, no, I think I totally accept that. I just feel like to a lot of people, this isn't like clearly communicated, and that's why it becomes a point of contention. Whereas
Sure.
I think that if it was accurately pointed out that hey, the live streams is about we're
It is.
opening up to all these
Yeah, it
questions.
is
We're
very,
allowing
very,
is.
very clearly stated that all the time.
where is it
Especially
stated?
moderators that are in the room
Because
that try to
I've heard
divert
from a lot of
conversation.
people that
Skygazer. So this is what moderators do. The people that are talking whilst you're talking, trying to get you to be quiet. So what we do is we try and make sure that the conversation is flat Earth related within the live stream, because exactly as Dr. Science says, it's being live streamed. So they get to hear the conversations, they get to hear the questions that they have in their head that they may be too afraid to answer. So they listen to the other conversations. And yeah, you are right in certain respects, because we do have, I don't know, token globers around, the Xanax of the world, for example, where, yeah, this is why we moderate people and mute people, because people can take over the live stream, especially from a global perspective on that side, and sit in there and kind of hold court for a while. So this is why we have moderators around to try and moderate the conversation. But
Well, yeah, I mean, my point is just that very simply, it should be communicated the agendas of these separate channels, and that if there is a channel which is for dedicated, topics that flat earthers
like,
want to discuss more deeply,
let me
maybe
look.
that should be more accurately communicated.
Right, so there's FE beginners, there's the chill text, chilled VC, there's religious, there's spirituality, there's biblical, there's Quran, there's philosophy, there's the Flat Earth Initiative, there's loads of rooms. Right?
Yeah, what do you mean by being more specific than that? What is it that you're missing out on? What do you want? Do you want a Stargazer
Well,
channel?
there's Discord bots you can utilize to state the purpose of a certain channel on a regular basis, so that for newcomers and people who have come
you
to
a bot
understand the
salesman?
globe lie, that they can be informed that hey, if you've already reached this level and you wanna go deeper, we have these alternative channels, because this channel is mostly about debating the existing arguments and making other people understand it, right? That seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Could you not work that out from all the other stuff that goes on? I mean, was it really, really unobvious to you?
It became pretty clear after I was muted a couple of times.
You mean
from
after you listened for a little bit and kind of, listen to how people moderate, that kind of thing, which is normally what people do when they come in. They actually listen.
No, a lot of people who reached out to me in DMs, they were saying that we feel like that
I've
they
heard
are
this a lot.
allowing the globe earthers, deliberately giving them space to debate, to actually flesh out these arguments. And a lot of people don't want to go through that
A lot
because
of
they've
people
already
DM you.
intellectually, yes, and a lot of people have
Are you a
intellectually
moderator here, or?
deconstructed these arguments themselves.
How are you so well known?
No, I spoke out about it. I basically said, why are we entertaining this globe guy, giving him 5 minutes of airspace in a room of 35 flat earthers? And then, and then I was muted as a result. And then a lot of people reached out to me in DMs.
A lot of
Yeah,
people.
so this is as exactly as I pointed out to you a minute ago. You might have just been in the conversation yourself and thought upon yourself, I don't like this Glober taking over the live stream. Well done, mate. Good for you. That happens a lot with a lot of people. It's not just you. You're not the only person that people go to. This get brought up all the time. And like I said, that's why we have moderators around. I'm glad you noticed it and you stuck your neck out and put an end to it. Well done, mate. That's what we all do. And we should do, right?
I wasn't able to put an end to it. I asked the guy, I asked him to prove the globe, and then I was asked to wait for your turn and let the guy
drama
speak.
like this we need to get rid of from the live stream. It makes it look stupid. It's a little childish bickering about something. This shouldn't be done in the live stream. Do you agree, Skygazer?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Xanax of the world, it shouldn't be allowed. I agree.
Ooh, what?
I agree with what I heard you.
Well,
Jedi. Oh, God. Moving right along.
Hey, Dr. Science, how are you, buddy? Haven't seen you for a while. Working hard?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you could say that. Been at work. Yeah,
Good stuff, buddy.
gaming though. But
yeah, I've seen you a couple of times down in the gaming room.
Yeah, kind of just chilling out, putting my feet up a little bit.
Yeah, don't blame you, man.
What's going on in here? Is it a bit lively in here? It seems we got some new people, huh?
Yeah, it's always new people, mate, coming around. But yeah, it's been pretty good for the last few days for sure.
I saw a room that Zanik wasn't in. I thought that one looks like a good one.
He's just a time waster, man.
I can't be doing with him.
Hours and
the last
hours
3 days, it's been like the Zanik show. I don't get it.
Did you hear what he was saying about
Xanax sucks, man. Xanax is such an asshole.
If you start a plumb bob off, so if you've got, I don't know, a meter's worth of plumb bob and you pull it back and let it go, it'll keep going for, is it an hour, is it? Oh my god,
half an hour.
Dude. Oh, Xanax is actually muted right now. That makes me happy.
That makes sense. That happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, sometimes. Not often enough. I don't know why that guy's in permaban, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know why you entertain him at all.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about why is he in permabans. Well, permabans is a very specific thing.
It is.
Reasons, right? These people should not be allowed. Zanik, if you know how to treat him, you know how to set him up. He's a fantastic punchback and a demonstration. Now, me personally, I've learned to deal with Zanik over a slow amount of time. Boy used to trigger the shit out of me. He still does. But you just have to listen very carefully to what he actually says. And you can rip him apart within about 3 or 4 sentences and carry on your day.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, I
don't hear that, though. The people listening in just hear him waffling.
I know.
I've definitely heard him being in discussions about the focal pendulum. He knows fine well that gets started and it has fucking magnets. He knows that. I've heard him discussing it. And he was trying to say point blank that no, they're in museums all around the world, and when you start them, they'll run for fun.
Well, he's treated as this next level boss in the flat Earth community, where it's like, oh, NASA is obviously a shill, and then there's Bill Nye the Science Guy and Neil deGrasse Tyson is an obvious shill.
Not wrong.
But Zanik, he's he understands some of this stuff, but he's still a globe earther. So you should think about it before you.
Maybe we should put him in another room all for himself, and you have to make it through Flat Earth Beginners and live stream 1. Then you can progress to live stream 2 and play Santa.
That's like the gauntlet, isn't it?
Just give him a live stream of his own.
Put up through a gauntlet.
Set him a live stream up. There's Zanik show.
see, as far as I see it, he understands fucking everything. He just
He
deliberately
does.
does it.
Dude, you know
He's a
that his
liar.
World of Warcraft character was called Zanuck. You know it. You know that that was the case. I think I literally encountered him in Ogrimmar for sure.
Well, I know Skygazer doesn't want to talk about this, but the homie Bud, you were asking some questions earlier, and did Panto answer your questions? Like, what you wanted to ask? Because I think you were coming in here with the idea that you wanted to kind of defend the globe a little bit. But
What?
did you find it kind of hard for you to figure any arguments out for the globe?
Oh yeah. Cause
I
No, I'm referring to the homie Bud right now. Skygazer, I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay. Sorry.
I found it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I believe that the Earth's a globe and stuff. Just what I've been taught, what we've been taught.
You sound very
consistently
convinced, bro.
since when I was little. I mean,
You sound super convinced.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, we all got taught exactly the same thing. I mean, you'll find out the longer you stick around the flat Earth community that 99.9% of us all believe exactly the same thing that everybody else believes about the Earth that they think they're living on. Right? It
Right.
sounds pretty convincing.
I
But I bet up until today, weeks or months, you haven't thought it was even possible to question the fundamental of reality where our home is, right?
I
You can question it, mate. Seriously.
right. Okay.
How long have you been looking into the flat Earth? Is it a couple of days, weeks, months?
Just
You've been talking about it with friends?
Just a couple days and stuff, and discussing it with different
Dude,
Oh,
friends.
good. Where did you
This is
hear?
like the Carl Pilkington of flat Earth
Nah, he's okay. Where did you hear it from, homie Bud?
in a good way.
Could I hear it from?
Yeah, like flat Earth. Like, did you come across it on the internet? Like, somebody talk about it? How did you?
It started off on the internet. I found the server on Discord, Ken, and
Right on.
oh,
How
Discord.
do
Sorry.
how do you find this Discord channel if you're not even like looking into flat Earth?
No, I told you I was looking. Told you I was looking into flat Earth a couple
He was
days ago.
intentionally looking for it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
So you were like a little bit curious, and then you stumble upon this channel.
yeah, a little bit curious.
Right.
So what sort of things have you looked out for? Is there any, it's only a couple of days or weeks old, like you said. Is there any information you've come across that you've got questions about or that you thought's compelling or anything like that at all?
Not necessarily questions. I'm just here to listen to why people think that the Earth is flat and
Well,
not
okay.
a globe.
I'll tell you from my point of view, and then everybody else can take from that. But I understand that the Earth is observed, measured, practically used, built, and travelled across as a flat stationary plane. Now, all of those things can be demonstrated. You observe a flat stationary plane, you can measure a flat stationary plane, you will figure out that it is practically a stationary plane. So, if all those things are true, then the Earth cannot be a spinning ball at all. And that's why I understand that the Earth is flat.
Right. And I can go next real quick. I found out that NASA stood for a lot of basically the majority of the globe Earth mythology that we're taught from a very young age. And then I found out that a lot of or all of the visualizations that came from NASA were artificially created, i.e., they were not photographs. And then I made the connection because I used to play World of Warcraft, and then I found out that because World of Warcraft doesn't represent reality, in the same way NASA doesn't represent reality. So that's why I became a flat earther.
Okay. So can I ask Jedi? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
So you say that it's flat and stationary, right?
Yeah.
So so say I lived in Australia, right, on the
Mhm.
far east of Australia, like Brisbane or Sydney or something, right?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to get from Sydney,
Mhm.
to say, what's that place called on the west of America? What, California or
California?
something, right? Yeah. So how would that work if it was flat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
From Australia, Sydney to California, LAX.
Yeah.
Okay, so fly west. Sorry, not west. Fly northeast from Sydney to LAX.
Yeah.
What you got to do? That's all you're going to do. It's like same as a ball, but yeah, it's flat. There's possibility, strong possibility with evidence that the north point is the central bit. Now, the bit that your compasses point to, how we start navigation, and east
Love the north.
to west is a circle onto that central north, possibly.
Right.
With the circumference of the south, the area around 180 degrees from north and all position.
Okay.
Australia to California, it's literally just like.
I think Jedi, you're breaking up, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
hear
No
you.
worries, man. I'll jump out.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's a question to the flat earthers here. What do you guys think actually Antarctica is? What is your personal opinion? I mean, I know we can't know, but it's an interesting topic regardless.
What do you think a flat earther is?
No, this is my question to the flat earthers.
Yeah, and I'm asking you, what is it that you think a flat earther is? Like,
Well, okay, I think first of all, if you're asking me that question genuinely, I think that the flat earther is a very binary term that a lot of people don't need to accept, but let's rather call it someone who doesn't accept the modern interpretation or official story of what Antarctica is. So if you do reject the official story of the fact that the Antarctica is, just another icy area on the southern part of a globe with penguins that we have to protect, if you don't believe that that's the case, then what do you believe it is?
and that's enough for you to call somebody a flat earther, is it? If they don't believe in the official story of Antarctica.
I'm not calling anyone a flat earther.
No, I was asking for your definition. You were putting a question out to flat earthers, and I was just.
Okay, yeah, and then I'm apologizing for that. I mean, this is kind of, yeah, I agree. I'm going by the false binary of flat Earth versus globe Earth.
You
I think
said
it's
you
more
were a
like-
flat earther earlier.
Yeah, just because that's the common denomination if you want to simplify things.
Right, so therefore it should be easy for you to give us a definition of it, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, someone who observably acknowledges that the Earth around them is flat, and that it's not a globe.
You can
Let's
see
put it real simple.
mountains and valleys, can you?
Yeah, but there's no curve.
Right, so
why are we engaging in this sophistry? Like, this is what I'm saying.
No.
Like,
We're just trying to get through this. Like, you can see the mountains and valleys, and they're not.
you want to
flat.
test me a little bit? Okay, I'll accept. I'll
Are
buy
they?
it. Yes, there's mountains and valleys.
And they're not flat.
No, they're not.
Right. So I see that as well. So far, it's not that we can't see mountains and valleys that aren't flat that makes us flat earthers, then, is it?
Accepted.
Okay. Now, would you agree that water is level, or the level of water is level?
Accepted. Water is level. Yes.
Right. So far, we've got mountains and valleys, and the water is level. So the
Accepted.
water around the land is level.
Yes.
Fine. Well, I'm not a flat earther then. Or are you a flat earther? Or are we all flat earthers?
Yeah. What you are is a goddamn nerd, but that's another discussion.
Really?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course. Of course, there's hills. Of course, there's valleys. Of course, there's mountains.
Right, so
But
can I
yeah,
ask
this is
everyone in the room right now, do we all agree that there's mountains and valleys, but the water is level?
This discussion is literally
Yes.
called 24/7 flat Earth discussion.
Yeah.
I know it's very provocative, isn't it?
That's where we're getting to. We'll get round to that in a minute.
Right. So it's kind of like, well,
What is a flat earther?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is why I usually use the term globe denier, because I think that that's more accurate. Is that you don't accept the globe model?
Well, no. It's not that I don't accept the globe model. It's just that in my belief of the mountains and valleys being lumpy and bumpy, but the water being level, right? That's fine, and I can go along with it, because that's what happens in the real world.
Right, but do you accept the globe?
But
do you accept the globe model?
The model conflicts with reality.
Right, so
that's where I have a problem.
Are you denying the globe? Are you denying that you live in a globe?
Why?
No, are you denying the theory that you live on a globe? Are you
denying that the water is level?
No, I'm not. Are you denying that you live on a globe?
Well, how do you wrap water level around a ball?
Why are you responding my question with a question?
Well, I'm just asking you, how do you manage to wrap water level around a ball?
I'm not. I'm acknowledging water is level.
I know, and that's very genuine of you. But then I would have to ask you, how do you wrap that round your model? I just don't have a model.
I don't have a model either. I think that there are some that are more accurate than others.
Well, the model that I have would sort of give me the fact that water is level, as demonstrated by all the water that I've ever seen.
I love how you, through all this time, you thought that you were like arguing against Glober.
I'm not arguing against anyone.
All
right.
Okay. So, are you going to give us a definition of a flat earther yet, or?
I think I just did.
Somebody denies the globe.
Oh, somebody that denies the globe model.
That was the last thing I remember him saying.
Yeah, that's my most. I think that would be the most
I don't
honest.
Have it.
That would be the most, or doesn't accept rather. Maybe deny is too strong of a word, but someone who do not accept the globe model as factual and as representing reality.
Can you wrap water level around a ball for me?
All right. Should we move on?
No, Bev, you can't do that.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So, would you still consider yourself a flat earther now, or? Because I think we agree on most of them.
You're using the term flat earther, so how about you define the term flat earther for me?
I don't. It's a trigger. It's a misnomer. Can't possibly be true. If you class the Earth as the ground that you stand on, like most people do,
depends on
we've already agreed there's mountains and valleys. It cannot possibly be true.
But here's the thing.
Water is level, though.
You can agree certain economic models as being stable, but you can still acknowledge that there's still bounces and valleys in the economic tendencies, but you can still classify yourself as a believing in an economic stable theory. So you're kind of engaging in this sophistry where you're thinking that
you just
flat
waffling.
Equals a flat mathematical line, which doesn't exist in reality. So you're kind of like engaging in this quasi real state, which is
the horizontal
mathematics
line
and reality.
Is very definite. Very definite.
It's not very definite.
Very real.
If you zoom in, there's curvatures there. There's waves. If you zoom in on
the horizontal has what?
If you zoom in deep enough on a horizontal line, there's going to be waves.
Now or on a model?
No, I'm never talking about mathematics. Mathematics aren't reality. Reality is reality. So if you're talking about flat versus curve or flat
just
versus
horizontal
ball,
we were on, weren't we? We were on about horizontal being straight.
But you're saying that, there's no such thing as a flat earther because flat earth doesn't exist. Yes, of course there's mountains. Yes, of course there's valleys. Everybody accepts this. The question is, why are you so entrenched in this belief that you have to like regurgitate this like nonsensical argument?
Me.
Everybody knows this.
Me.
Yeah, you and no one else. So why do you feel entitled to disrupt this conversation in this way? Like, yeah, you're allowed to entertain these ideas, but nobody has to defend these arguments for you if you try to attack them. Logic works.
Sorry? Attack?
Yeah, if you're trying to
I
attack
think he's
me
using the
and
wrong terminology because
no,
we
if
do
if
live.
he's
You
telling
could
me
call you well, don't you? I mean, logically, you could call yourself a globe earther or a convex earther.
it's
Or a
about
concave earther.
perspective. Are you talking
Right,
about
it's a
like
perspective.
zooming
That's
out,
right.
or are you talking about if you're zooming in with a 20-time optical lens and then you observe, yeah, there's some deviation from the ground zero to the mountain hills. And this is not like, this is such sophistry. Like, why would you even want to entertain this? It's so pointless. And nobody's learning anything from this. These are basic concepts we're taught in like second or third grade, for God's sakes.
What a flat earther is?
A flat
No, I think
earther
you're.
is a person that lives on a world where there's more water than Earth. So water is level, and we assume to be flat. So
Oh my
because
God.
there's more surface that is
I have to
flat,
start a new
you
channel
safely
now.
call yourself a flat earther.
I think people are people, and many people understand that the Earth is flat, and they come to it and would describe themselves and define themselves in very many different ways. But ultimately, we all agree on two fundamental things: the Earth is flat. Now, we're not denying mountains and valleys, but it's the easiest way to conceptualize it. Otherwise, you have to use more than two letters. But the water measured between the land masses is measured level over vast distances. No curvature on any water anywhere. So
And
we
no
agree
one's
that
gonna
it's level
entertain
over
some.
vast. Still fucking talking. So we all agree that it's level over vast distances of water, and it's a topographical plane that is level, and it's stationary. So flat and stationary. I think every flat earther would agree that these are the two fundamental points that we all agree on: that the Earth, where we live, level, flat, and stationary. Everything else is up for fucking debate.
Well, I can say that I'm a flat stationary earther.
Congratulations.
Okay.
These are the sort of conversations we get into, homie. Trying to define words.
Yeah.
You might find out, I don't know if you will, but over the recent, say, 4 or 5 years of Flat Earth, there's been lots of debate. The one that sticks out in my mind was a debate between a Flat Earther and a Globe Earther over the word and what the word and meant. And they went at this for like 2.5 hours. But yeah, the reason sometimes why we fall over ourselves over defining words and stuff is because words obviously have meaning. Wool has been pulled over our eyes with
Yes.
extra gravitas added to words like science and what science means. And if you've got a keen eye and have noticed over the last 4 years, they are literally changing the rhetoric in real time. If you use like a Wayback Machine and search up definitions of words, scientific methods, for example, you notice I've moved things like taking the word prove out and cause and effect. You'd only notice this if you had a keen eye and were in it for quite a long time. But this is the reason why we kind of end up fighting and debating a little bit over words and terms and meanings.
Right.
Because it's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, words are super important. Interesting factoid there. Is that, you know, how comedians now are super mainstream, all supporting the mainstream agenda. Actually, in the 1920s, the Oxford Dictionary definition of a comedian was a man who criticizes the elites. And how many comedians nowadays are allowed to criticize the elite? This is why you see this
Most of them?
rampage in comedy where these people are being canceled and taken off air because they're saying things that are inappropriate, you know, to the people that are in control. Just
Hold
an
up.
interesting factor there.
But do you not notice that most all comedians criticize everyone in power and the elite?
No, they criticize the people perceived to be in the elite, i.e., oh, I'm gonna shit on quote unquote white people, and now I'm accepted. Sorry, bro, this is not specific enough. If you get too specific, then you're gonna get thrown off air, and that's just a reality. And this
Can you
is knowing
can you
people
name
in
an
comedy.
example?
Who's
Can you
been
name an
taken off
example?
air for criticizing the elites?
The,
I
the
can't think
court
of.
jester always worked for the king.
Look into Owen Benjamin and see what happened to him. Not gonna say anymore, but
How about Trevor Noah, or I don't know, Jeff Foxworthy? Any of these people, like, you see them criticize the elite consistently. Why aren't they
no,
thrown off the air?
they aren't. They aren't criticizing the elite. If you think that they're criticizing the elite, you don't understand who the elite is. I'm sorry, bro.
So who's the elite? Maybe I don't
Well,
understand.
why don't you tell me who's
Enlighten
the
me.
elite, since
It's
you
all-
clearly claim
always been the
to
fucking elite.
believe that you know who they are.
Who's always been the elite?
The court jester
Kings and priests.
always works for the king.
Kings and
That's
priests.
the whole point
mate.
of it. Is to make the king laugh.
It's just a
Hold up.
hierarchical system.
According to you, and I'm willing to accept, I don't know who the elite are. Great.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you don't. Well, that's good to know.
Can you educate me on who the elite are?
Yeah, can you tell?
No, mate, we
I'm
can't
not
take
gonna- I'm
around
not
his.
gonna
We can't
expose
take. Shut up. We
myself.
can't take you round his house. We don't know the specific person. This is the good thing about the trick that they play. They never really reveal themselves. Yeah. So kings and
I
priests
think.
No, they do
behind.
actually. They
Let me
do,
interject a
but-
little bit
Well,
about
yeah,
who are
but
the ones in charge. The ones in
right,
charge
look,
are
they're right in
normally
front of you. If you want to talk about the people like I don't know, the Pope, the Queen of England, for example. I mean,
right.
who do you want to
Those
look
are the
at?
She's not the elite. Flat Earth Jedi. She's not the elite.
Yeah, whoever, but who do you want to start looking at? We're trying to decipher all of this shit. Who do you want to start looking at?
I mean, I'm asking you to educate me about this. Who are the?
What we're telling you, there is an army of it. There are dozens of them. You know, these
Okay,
are the
can you
Yeah.
descendants of
Well,
Cain.
I think you
Real evil people.
you should kind of approach this as a detective. So if just because you see a person engaged in a certain type of behavior, so if you see a drug lord buy a property, you shouldn't just say that, oh, this person wants this property. You should understand why is he buying that property. And a way to understand that is to understand where his money flow is coming from. If it comes to light that, oh, actually he's serving a purpose for this other person who was betting on this property to go up in price, and by this guy buying it and holding on to it for a few
Where's this
years,
going?
it actually rises up in price. If you
What the
see
hell
that
has this got to do with anything?
Yeah, I know.
we're
This
talking
is
about
well,
the elites, how do you understand
Yeah.
who the elites of society are?
About someone buying
I'm sorry
a house.
if you can't,
No, we're not
you know,
talking. That's
comprehend
not
the
the elites we're
conversation
talking about,
for
dude. They
15
don't buy
seconds.
houses for their friends.
been here for like half an hour listening.
It's
Yeah.
called using an example as a metaphor. I'm sorry if you can't comprehend it. Maybe you
I
shouldn't
can
be in this
comprehend
conversation.
it, but I don't understand what it's
Seems
got
like you
to do
can't.
with anything.
Seems like you
I
can't because you felt the need to interrupt the conversation while I was making the example.
Okay, did anyone else think that was a really good example and knew what he was on about?
No.
I zoned out after he said Jog Lord. I was like, what's this?
He's averting
Yeah.
the conversation of our beautiful stationary flat Earth.
Yes.
By the way,
But yeah,
I was just
question's
looking
good.
up Owen Benjamin.
Sorry, mate, go on.
He got taken off because I'm pretty sure he compared Jewish people to fleas, which is like shitty.
Who?
Owen Benjamin, the guy you were talking
I
about.
don't think so. I don't. Who was talking about him?
Yeah, he said something about people being taken off the air for criticizing the elite. He said Owen Benjamin. Yeah, he just he made anti-Semitic and anti-LGBT tweets. That's why he got his he was taken off the air.
Yeah, so
Oh
that'd be
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
classified as
You're
hate
reading
speech or something.
the Wikipedia thing, right? So I should come back here and read the Wikipedia page about NASA, right? so that we can all feel shameful about it. I think maybe that would really correct the state of this channel if we accept the NASA story that's told on Wikipedia. Maybe that would correct this whole narrative, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you don't feel
All right, so come back and read to us the Wikipedia story about NASA.
What?
That's not gonna help anybody.
What are you even?
You just read the Wikipedia story about Owen Benjamin, right? So
I'm not
come
on
back here and read the
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia
talking
story about
about?
NASA, and then let's
I'm not
discuss
on
that.
Wikipedia right now. I mean, I'm literally not on Wikipedia.
Where are you? What's the URL? Let's all look it up.
I'm looking at his Twitter account. A tweet from him. It's an
Yeah,
anti-Semitic
do
tweet.
you understand the comedy? Do you understand the fact that he's a comic? He's quoting his own Wikipedia page. That's called comedy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's reality. I'm sorry.
Taken off the air for quoting a Wikipedia page.
Anyway.
Yeah, you can look up. It's like the first 3 sentences of his Wikipedia page. You can read it
Anyway.
live on this voice channel, and let's
Earth is
hear how
flat
wrong I am.
and stationary.
Moving on.
Hi, Bambi.
Emma. Hello.
Bambi. Emma.
Are you feeling any better, my love?
I am feeling better, but yeah, the journey was hell.
Oh dear. I'm glad you're feeling better. You better have got that cup of tea.
I definitely have. Thank you.
No. Cup of teas heal everything.
Oh yeah.
With a shot of whiskey, it'd be just fine.
I feel fine too. Thanks for asking.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Jedi. How you doing? How are you? You feeling good? Yeah, okay. Jedi, did you have a cup of tea?
No, I didn't have a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea.
No. It's over there. Like really far. You have no,
Okay,
you have
yeah,
no
I
idea
feel
how
you.
far my kettle is. Like really far away.
I'm sure someone could verify that, how far away it is. But
It's quite far. But yeah, I'm fine, thank you, Bambi.
no, I'm okay. That's good.
Hey, it's Bambi.
It's Miguel!
What up, dude?
Oh!
Miguel.
Dr. Science.
Shout out
Emma.
to Dr. Sandra.
What's going on, guys?
Well, yeah, we're trying to edge the conversation with as least friction as we can back to the flat Earth and related flat Earth subjects and that being
Yeah, let's
the Earth
get
being
back to
flat and
flat Earth
stationary.
topics.
Yeah. Let's do that. Especially we've got new people jumping in and out of the room that have probably got questions and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, so a lot of people are asking, what is Antarctica?
You go south.
It's
It
a
appears to be there.
ringland. It's called a ringland. It's
Go
not
south. There's a
actually
place called
an
Antarctica.
island, like they show you like a continent, almost like, but it's more like a ringland. Can you picture that?
Yeah, we can picture it, but what do you think is there? Like, do you think there's a
Ice.
dome
Over
or
there,
what?
if we could go by what they show us. NASA show us,
Lots of
and all the
ice.
scientific guys, they show us that magnetic interference only give you readings up to 80 degrees. No more than that. The ozone is up to 80 degrees only. There is instead of an ozone hole, it's actually an ozone ring in that perimeter above the Antarctic land
You think?
ring.
You think that, in your opinion?
Mm.
And also, you've got
In my
a
opinion.
really hang
In
on,
my
Ursus.
opinion.
You have a really, really bad echo.
In my opinion, this ozone ring also that is above Antarctica.
That means, could you sort out the echo, please? Thank you.
All right. So what it is basically the outer limits of whatever is emitting the ozone. There's an energy like a plasma in the center of the Earth, which
Did
is
we
the
sort
North
the
Pole.
echo out? No, we didn't.
It's just him holding on to the mic.
Yeah, I'm now going to mute you until you sort it out.
Go, Emma.
Right, right. But what about the flat earthers? Like, yeah, well, obviously the ozone layer is a fraud, but do you think that there's another continent outside Antarctica, or do you think that it is like the edge and there's a dome, or
Well,
that it's the edge
well,
but there's
Skygazer, here's the deal. We only know what we know, right?
yeah.
Since travel is restricted in that direction, we
Hmm.
can't know only what we know
Well,
from
we can't know,
people
but
that
that's
can.
why I want to use, this huge group of logical people who have come to such a strong conclusion of being able to deny the globe. So I think it's interesting to entertain these ideas.
What location doesn't prove the shape of the Earth.
Antarctica? Because people here can't get to Antarctica. How do you feel? You're saying why are
No,
people so strongly into the idea that the Earth is flat? Is that what you're
no,
saying?
no, bro, you're
What?
misunderstanding me. I'm
Well,
saying
what do
I
you
want
mean?
to utilize this grand resource that we have. There are a lot of intelligent people who understand that the globe is a lie.
All right.
Therefore, I think that if you put all of these minds together and have a debate about it, about the nature of Antarctica or about the moon, for that sake, you can maybe come up with a very interesting discussion, and maybe you can
Well,
arrive
at
at some
best,
closer
well, no, I think at best you only
state of
have
the truth.
assumptions, though, right? Wouldn't you agree, Skygazer? At the end of the day,
Well, we do
after
have
all that's said and done, after all the conversation has been had, after people have bounced around ideas, we're still going to wind up with assumption until somebody actually physically goes there and does, measurements or, the legwork, that sort of thing. But
maybe, but we
maybe.
do like my hope would be maybe I'm being overly hopeful here, but maybe there are people that have
Financially well
connect
off too.
no connections to people that have made this journey before the Antarctic Treaty was put in place, because I know that this was common actually before this treaty was put in place. People were actually making these journeys. And I think it would be interesting, even if it's a grand uncle or some relative of their great grandfather or anything like
So, in
that. If
other words, you're
anyone,
kind of fishing for the maybe, hopefully, somebody's heard of something that you can glean some information off. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, I mean, so far as we know, people haven't come forward. They would have at this point in this server. They would have come forward and said, "Hey, I got a uncle that went over there, and he says that he saw the dome." Like, of course, nobody has come forward and said anything like this. So, if we're gonna keep talking about
Yeah,
that
I'm not
sort
going to
of
make
thing,
assumptions though.
you know
That's
what I
why I'm
mean?
opening up the conversations, and I would appreciate it if we wouldn't shut down the opening of allowing these kind of witnesses to come forward. We should allow those people, give them some space to do that instead of just shutting it down. I think that's the appropriate way to go about this.
No, the appropriate way is that if the person feels comfortable enough, they'll say something. Not for us to kind of keep egging it on to kind of like, okay, guys, come on.
I don't think it's
Why
about
are you
egging it
guys?
on. I think it's about
Yeah, it
opening up a
is.
space for allowing
Well,
them
it
to
is
do so
open. Think about it,
instead of
Skaggs. No, you're assuming that it's not open for discussion, and I'm telling you, it is. If that person feels so inclined to talk about it, they will. But
I think
to keep talking about it, we're spinning our wheels if we don't have any proof of it or anybody that's done measurements, that sort of thing. Do you understand where I'm going with? Like, so it's kind of a pointless way to go if we're not going to produce any useful information. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I think there's other useful information to be gathered here with
Like?
relation to the electric universe theory that is actually
Okay, so we're off Antarctica now. Okay.
No, Antarctica ties into this. It ties into it, and there's like you can make provable, replicable theories here on Earth. Like you can make experiments that enact the same type of behaviors that we see in Antarctica on this model. But if you want to share ideas about or stories of people who have traveled there, that's of course complementing this theory. And I'm not here to like promote this kind of theory or anything. I'm just like opening up the topic because I think that's way more interesting than debating things like, oh yeah, why is the sun 9,000 miles
Yeah, but
away?
this isn't
Like,
the
who
Skygazer
cares?
channel, though. This is flat Earth discussion, so it's open to anyone with the idea that the Earth
Yeah, I know.
is not a globe. So, yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
what you deem as it should be necessary. It's what It's what where the conversation goes
So it
organically.
comes down
and-
to authoritarianism. Yeah, I get it. I get
Oh.
it. That's the point of your argument. Yeah, it's all good.
It comes down to being open and anybody can discuss whatever they want, not the sky gazer conclusions of things. Right?
Yeah, it was never about the sky gazer conclusion. It was about me opening up the question. I asked the question, and then you were disrupting and
No, we
questioning
fleshed
why
it
I was
out.
asking the
We
question in
fleshed
the
it
first
out,
place.
and
Yeah.
we were
Yeah,
we're
it's
done.
established now. Everybody listened to what we said, so it's all good. So let the other people talk.
You're the one that's talking, bro. Like, you're telling me to let
I
them
asked
talk.
the
You're the one that's
question
speaking.
and you interrupted. So let's now let those people talk that wanted to chip in. Okay.
Okay, trigger.
Oh,
Hey,
is
Jedi.
someone else allowed to talk now? Awesome.
Hey, Jedi. You think Dr. Science will like that video that I sent you?
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm sure he will. Definitely. Redman's been making a few observations recently. Been doing a couple of the moon, a couple of the sun, and a few kind of observational experiments with,
Awesome.
his conception of, light coming through a reflective stone surface. Pretty cool, man.
I'll send it to you.
That'll work. Were they taken by a video camera or like what? How were you?
This stuff I looked at myself, and I don't have the greatest equipment, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it up again, but I wanted to show you the fire rainbow that I took the other day.
Fire rainbow.
Yeah.
What's a fire rainbow? Hold on, you're posting a picture. I'm just trying to see what one is. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
I can't read.
It's a little video, so.
Okay, cool.
And I got it off my. What in the world is that, Redman? Is that the sun?
The two at the bottom is the sun. The two at the top, that's something I made. I'm about to send you this video.
I put the video up of a fire rainbow if you guys want to see.
Appreciate it.
Took that off of my iPhone 6.
That's annoying.
Hmm?
For some reason, it won't play on my Android.
You're showing like a parahelio?
No, it says can't play video.
Or the one you sent me on the DM. I got to see it, so.
Okay.
Hey! Oh, yes! I don't even know what it is.
Was that Justin? We were. Weird.
Oh, I just got something in the mail.
I think you're hot micing, Justin.
I was.
Okay. Yeah, those, whatever you want to call them, chemtrails or whatever. It's just the way the light is reflecting off the those clouds with that rainbow color. The video I put
got
up.
something like that too.
Yeah, I get it. Sorry, it seems Dr. Science, do apologise, mate. Every time I go to look now in the live stream text room or even type, I get kicked out. So if you were saying anything to me, mate, I do apologise. I missed it all.
Yeah. What is it? Your connection, maybe?
No, because I go into
Discord?
any other voice room. Yeah, it's some issue. Doesn't matter. It's just live stream and then texting in the text room. As soon as that happens, I just get kicked out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Spot On. What's going on, man?
Hello.
Just watching your video.
Is that interesting? Yeah, I saw it the other day. I was like, I've never seen that. Well, not like that anyway.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
the fire
like a
rainbow
really,
thing.
It's just like weird.
there's a really intense like little ball of light in the middle, isn't there? Or like,
Yeah.
What have you
yeah, it's
seen
like,
have any of you guys seen the melting moon?
I don't know what that is. Do you have some kind of video of that?
Well, it's
Sounds
like,
interesting.
yeah, it's like basically like a bronze colored melting moon where there's literally, it looks like metal leaking off of a melting object.
That's probably at one of the horizons, right? Either, I would say.
This is way north, way north. This is observable. Yeah. Yeah, but how many people think that the moon is like artificial, or how many think it's like a natural creation or phenomena?
Well, it's not a hologram. I don't think so. But you still can't land no there. Can't go there.
So it's not a hologram, but you can't go there. Is that what you said?
Yeah, can't go there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's a hologram, and I don't think you can go there. But I'm still questioning, like, could it be that it's some kind of, human creation that was put there for whatever ulterior purpose? I think in the Bible it states that, God creates the sun and the moon, right? And the stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's an old
Not
sun.
man-made.
An old worn out sun.
Well, that's the thing that gets my, heebie-jeebies going, because it does look like an old sun. Like, if you ever were to imagine in your head, like, the sun growing old and, getting wrinkly and kind of inefficient, feels like it would end up looking like a moon, weaker light, some kind of wrinkles, big bumps on it, like, kind of looks a little bit sick. I don't know.
Lunar wars.
Lunar what?
Wars. Like lunar herpes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the sun got herpes and it became a moon.
No, it ran out of its fuel. It still produces a little bit of light, and it goes a little bit slower than what it used to as well. Did you not see that the gift that I made? They put the magnets. You put the two magnets on either side of the battery. That's quite cool.
Yeah, and it's like it's following the same path as the sun in some weird level where at some point they have to interconnect because, it's like kind of like you have to install the new one at some point, but then you can't avoid the fact that it's like even a bad clock rings right at 1 second of the day or whatever that saying is.
No, I'm saying, did you see the gift that I made?
Let me check it out.
In the live stream. I just posted it in the live stream. It's quite cool. It's like two batteries on either end. Two magnets on the end of the batteries.
Yeah, well, the battery thing kind of doesn't correlate with the, moon being an old sun, right?
Oh, I wasn't saying it was, mate.
Yeah, so either it's like a battery system or it's like you're dealing with the moon being an old sun, right?
Or if you go by David Icke shit, it's a projector using the Saturn Moon matrix.
Right.
It projects square waves.
Well, I think that the projector thing isn't even that far off because there are visual phenomena where you can see like two or even several moons in the sky, and you can see two or even several suns in the sky. So I think that the atmosphere, or like, I think it's likely to be like a dome, and there's a central light which lights onto this dome, whatever it is, and we are actually able to on Earth replicate the scenario where you have a central light and a dome structure, and you can, as an observer on the flat ground, you can see multiple projections of the same light source.
Do you have any proof of this dome?
Well, define proof.
I don't know. You do keep talking about it as though it's there.
Well, you're using the term proof, and we know that I'm sure you understand better than any that a lot of people use the term proof, unnecessarily. So we're talking about evidence or proof, or what's your definition of proof if you use that term?
Are you talking about it as though it's a story, or are you talking about it as though it's like sort of a fact?
Well, as I just said, if you listen to my statement, what I said was that we are able to replicate here on Earth an environment where you have a central source of light and you have an artificial dome structure, which I think on Earth here it's created by glass.
Like
mostly.
A model,
it's created by glass. It's created by glass, and then you have a flat sphere underneath where you can make observation with a camera, and then you're able to publish this onto the internet. It's not a model, it's called an experiment.
Oh, well, can we see it?
Yeah, I can look it up and post it in the chat if that's what you're asking. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, please. It will give me more of an idea of what you are talking about.
Right. Well, I'll find the theoretical proposition that's being posted on
theoretical.
YouTube. Yeah, this was already established at the beginning of my sentence previously.
I thought you said experiment.
So I don't know why you're trying to attack that.
I'm not attacking anything.
You're not attacking it? Then why are you trying to point out that, oh, it's a theory?
Well,
why are you emphasizing the word theory?
That you were going to show us.
Do you understand the correlation between theory and experiment?
Tell us.
Huh?
Tell us.
No, why don't you answer the question?
Please.
Explain, because you're the one trying to challenge it. So why don't you explain your theory of it?
My theory of what?
Why don't you explain your understanding the relationship between an experiment and a theory? It should be pretty simple.
Show us the experiment.
I'm not going to show you anything.
And then we'll have a look at it.
Why don't you be intellectually honest? And if you're trying to attack something and you don't even understand the nature of it, you should acknowledge that you don't even have the grounds to attack it. Well, what was the emphasis of your wording just earlier?
Jeez, you are such a snowflake. What is wrong with you?
Hey, Dr. Science.
Yo.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah. Was that you doing that test?
Well, yeah, test in the garage. I made that up.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, it shows like what I would consider to be like a perihelio. Like when you see the sun, like on a cold day, like let's say winter, it looks like a ring around, and certain sundogs that are seen.
That's I gotta scale it up.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks
like.
like.
So interesting.
That's what it looked like to me anyway when you were doing that test.
And that made me think about that one day when I asked my son taking a picture of the sun while I was driving. That's why I put the 4 pictures up there.
Right. Yeah, see you doing the legwork, man, to kind of test things out, see how it would work out. It's awesome.
Yeah, sundogs are fascinating. Like sundogs will literally make like Globies question like the Globers, just like when you point them out, because they're like easily observable.
Yeah, but they got explanations. So when they have explanations, I mean they're not,
But it's kind of like deep lore, so you have to kind of be a little bit deep into the Globie lore to be able to explain it.
They're amazing, though. I've seen them once where I live.
Yeah, they're beautiful, man. I love it.
And look at that picture that I took a couple nights ago, maybe about a week ago, of the moon, and I'm standing in my backyard, and with the spot, the outside light out there.
Right. is similarly shining. Looks like the light, same light.
The moon looks like a light to me.
Yeah. Was that you, the one that put the moon looked like it's smiling? Yeah. I want to put eyes on that moon.
Well,
Like a smiling moon.
I took that with my cell phone. I had to do my settings to get it like.
Where was it the way it was, or did you have to tilt the camera? Because it almost looks like that's how you were viewing it. Looks
No,
like
that's the way I caught it.
just like that. Oh.
Yes,
Wait
sir.
up. It's both on level?
No, smiling. I
It's
caught
smiling.
the moon smiling.
I've never seen it like that. Semi this morning, actually. Well,
No,
no,
what's the-
yesterday morning.
Sorry, what's the post in the chat? Which shadow was supposed to be?
It's his picture in the live stream voice text where it shows like
Live
well,
stream
there's
one?
one of his Look under Redman 116. There's two images, one of a truck, and then right below it there's a moon, a crescent moon. Looks like it's smiling. I told him I want to draw some eyes on that.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
What's the Cheshire Cat?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Emma. I saw that
Yeah.
moon. I was like, it looks like do you see the Cheshire? Cheshire? Am I saying that right? Cheshire.
Cheshire.
Oh god, I'm butchering that. Sorry,
Cheshire.
Jedi. Emma.
Cheshire.
Cheshire.
Yeah,
My apologies for
it's okay.
Cheshire.
That's fine. But
butchering
yeah,
the English language.
it's when he disappears and he's just left as a grin.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Look there,
Yeah.
you put it up again.
You see how far away?
Yeah,
the
like
moon is?
the moon is such a fascinating thing.
What was that?
I was a kid in the background.
No, you see how far away it is.
Is the kid a club earther or flat earther?
What's that, water ball?
Is that 4-year-old a flat earther or no?
Yeah, he hasn't been brainwashed yet.
That's right.
I'm giving to my kid an opportunity to figure him out himself, but I'm not saying it's a flat or ball. But I have a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's an excuse for sending him to public school. That's what I'm hearing.
Actually, I wondered the homeschooling after I figured out that it's even possible. I didn't know that it's possible.
It is possible. I can
like
tell
you have
you're a
Spanish
Finnish
accent.
guy. I know that it's possible in Finland to.
Are you
to
Finnish?
homeschool your kids.
Yeah, I'm Finnish.
Oh, it sounded a bit like you had a Spanish accent, but yeah, I guess I was wrong.
Can I make a quick announcement while Waterball
Yeah, sure.
is here? Did you check your tags, Waterball?
Silver. Woo! Thank
you made silver.
I made
You
up
did.
into the silver.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Well done. You've done really well today.
Nerd. yeah, great job.
You've even
At least
stopped
I
me
tried.
shouting at you as well.
I tried.
You've even
I
stopped me shouting at you as well, so you've done really well.
But I think the Mr. Conspiracy Music Guru was the fastest goer to the silver ever. He got a silver for 2 hours, from 2 hours or something like
Who's that again?
Alex Michael, the Conspiracy Music Guru, a couple of days ago.
He
got a
came in
silver.
here?
Yeah, he came here, yeah.
Oh, Dr.
What?
Science, you missed it.
Dude, I've been trying to invite him to come in here for such a long time.
Yeah, he's in. He's been in twice.
He was here earlier as well.
He has
Are you
been asked to
serious?
do he's been asked to do an FE initiative, and he said he'd be welcome to. I think he likes this place a lot. He's come back twice since.
Like, it's been a while since I actually sent him the invite, and I gave him like a little short paragraph or something.
I
I
should have put you on the list. I did start mentioning, sent a load of people messages when I sent him in here the first time. So, yeah, I'll put you on the thing if I ever see him back in here again. I'll send you a message.
He's a great dude. I mean, you know, to talk to and stuff. I've seen him, interviews and whatnot. But I was talking to him on Facebook Messenger, and I dropped him a line because I added him as a friend, and I was like, "Hey, man, by the way, there's this really nice Discord that you could join, and it's community's big and so on and so forth. So I don't know you know how long it's been, but I'm pretty sure it's been almost a year, close to that anyway.
Yeah, well, I think he had a mate that was already in here that had been
Yeah,
in here for a bit.
Good stuff,
Stellium
man.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's actually the best friend of him.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's
And
the
he's
barkeep.
Yeah,
in
they're
the
in the
video.
bar and the music video. The bar who hits into the face.
That guy is an amazing musician.
Oh,
If
he's
you guys
unbelievable,
don't
man.
know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's an amazing musician, and yeah, he's been doing such great work
Damn.
for the Flat Earth, and man, I
Miguel,
mean, his video.
I put the guy in VC checking. He came into VC checking, and I gave him his VC role. He was explaining that he did a bit of music. He had, a channel on YouTube. He did the Flat Earth for a while. So yeah,
Right.
gave him VC verified, no problem. I stepped back into the live stream, and everybody's going mental like this is some kind of man. And apparently, this is some kind of man. And I've never even heard of him, mate. But yeah,
really?
Never even heard of him. I might have heard his music. I might have. Seriously, mate, I don't know a lot of Flat Earth music at all, apart from ODD reality. So,
like his,
never
yeah,
heard of him.
his
Bambi as well. She was even Bambi. She was proper fangirling, mate. Like, she was off the chain. Yeah, loads of people were, mate, and I didn't even know who the guy was. So, yeah, Flat Earth Initiative, man. I did say anything that we can do to help him. So yeah, not a problem, man. We'll get him on the FBI if you want him to have a show.
Yeah, Alex, man, he's a really cool cat, man. So I mean, hopefully he comes back in here. We can have a really cool chat.
He was talking to Chocolate the other day, and Nathan Oakley. Chocolate just asked me if he wanted to go on the show and if he could maybe, if he wanted to play a bit of music, and he did. He turned up, played a tune. It was awesome.
Yeah, he went on Show 1000 and did Don't Believe in Gravity, right? But that show now is made private.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it private?
I don't know. I went to go and try and watch it today, but it just said this, video is private.
Lucy, you can Lucy Lemon, she's possibly coming as well. If anybody knows Lucy. She's only got 2,000 subs, but she says she's going to come.
Yeah, Alex has one of the coolest music videos for Flat Earth. I mean, he's got a couple, but he's blasting NASA in all of them almost.
Have you heard his new one? It's just the music.
No, I haven't heard it.
It's actually really good. While I was on the train for 6 hours, that's what I listened to. Awesome.
And there's this one new.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that he's sort of using the frequencies to tap in the resonance.
32 hertz.
And he's literally arranged the music to fit in with that frequency, which is it's like a good feeling, when you hear that, when it's the right tone. And
I transfer all my music to that, man. You got an app. It's called 432 Pure for the iOS and Android. You can put it on your phone, so any music you listen to on your phone, you can get it converted. As well as you can put it all in Audacity. Audacity changes it for you.
Nice. Yeah, man. I listened to this track that he put out there as like an example of the album, or a track from the album, and it was really nice. Yeah, really nice to listen to. So.
I mean, surely, no matter, even if an artist makes a 432 like sort of rendition of a song, I guarantee I'd put money on it that YouTube are converting it back to 440. They'll be making sure everybody that gets any audio from it is in 440, surely.
Well, hey, here's an interesting question. Is I think we have a few people in this chat who are kind of semi public people, posted it online, etc., or have some kind of online personality. But what's your response to people who ask, I'm a flat earther, but I can't even bring it up to my family or friends. I've investigated this topic for 1 or 2 years, and I'm kind of mind blown by it.
I tell everyone. All my family knows.
But I'm too shy. Maybe this is and it's like maybe I feel ashamed to share this kind of knowledge. Like how did you guys deal with that?
Personally, I'd say it's an individual thing, but it's good that like this Discord channels here and others, and you can then keep it a little bit secret if you like for a bit longer until you become confident enough with it.
See if you Socratically question them, so it's not like they're having to believe anything that they think you've just seen on YouTube. If you question them, just politely lead them to where the answer has to be made by their own mind. Then, because there's been no outside influence, all you've done is question them, and you literally lead them.
Well, so do you attribute the Socratic method? You're saying that you're able to through the Socratic method to someone who's intellectually honest, you can kind of make them at least accept your belief and not hate you?
No, they might not accept it because obviously the cognitive dissonance does kick in sort of at different levels depending on how open they are. But if they come to that, like they find in themselves, even though it's you, it's sort of you've got it out of them, you've managed to provoke it. But if they come to that themselves, it's well more effective than you just hitting them with facts and showing them stuff and bombarding them. Because then obviously once it hits a certain amount, even if they were open to start with, once they start feeling cognitive dissonance, fight or flight kicks in and they shut down. And even if you manage to get through to them and you can feel it, you sometimes even need to back off, take your foot off the gas a little bit as well, because once it gets to that point where
science, we always say that you make observations, you have a theory, you go make more observations, and it's a very, very tedious process. Wrong. Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method. In our field, it's by the seat of your pants. It's leaps of logic. It's guesswork. It's guesswork. It's guesswork.
So you best to just allow them to their own mind.
Well, it's a fascinating topic because personally, I have 3 siblings and obviously a mother and a father, and it's an interesting thing when I came to this realization of flat Earth because all of my 5 family members were kind of indoctrinated by this, and I wasn't sure.
Are they intellects, Guy Gazer?
Are they what?
Intellects? Like, are they, studied, like, in...
Well,
you know what I mean?
I would like to think that they are, they're kind of mainstream educated. Let's say it that way. They've all gone through mainstream education. And they are not incapable of critical thinking. But I wasn't sure how to, approach this subject. And what I found interesting was that one of my siblings had kind of opened up to the idea of some conspiracy theories. And because she had been, then we can kind of play around with these ideas. She was like, oh, maybe 9/11 wasn't the way we thought it was. And then we can kind of build from there. But for the rest of my 4 family members, it was very difficult. Like I would literally face like yawns when I was presenting these ideas. Like I was saying, oh, have you investigated the moon landing footage and this kind of thing? And my family members, they would just yawn. Like they would have this physical reaction to my verbal statement, which is yawning.
Like boring and move on kind of stuff?
Yeah, literally. And
Boring,
it's like, it's not just
no.
like an intellectual thing where it's like, I reject your premise or anything like that. It's like a physical
It's
reaction
not even interesting.
where they're like, where they're like yawning, and it's like, even if they tried to, they couldn't be interested. But I like to, of course, think that just by me planting these seeds of ideas, and hey, maybe NASA is a fraud, and maybe the moon landing was fake and that kind of thing. Maybe they can get there. But I think it's a real question that people are facing because in this world that we live in, where people are more and more isolated, we don't have this grand, big social circle. We meet people in our work where we have kind of these shallow conversations, but at the end of the day, the family is where we can kind of develop these deeper, more, let's call it conspiratorial ideas, where we feel comfortable to share those.
Well, one
ideas.
would think that, but I mean, sometimes it seems like more hostile ground, at the house because it almost seems like they know you. So they're like, yeah, here he goes again, kind of thing. So and sometimes for people, it's better to talk to strangers that will listen to them versus that. But it could be vice versa for some others. Like it's easier to talk to family. So I mean, every case is probably different than the next. I always think that just kind of poke and prod a little bit of questions. Throw it out a little bit of a. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about the moon landings and
Dude,
stuff
I
like
love
that?
doing that. I love doing that
Just to
so
see
much.
the reaction, like what they're gonna say.
God. And then you get like that little look from your one family member, even if it's like a distant cousin, and he like throws you a little look. You go like, well, so what is actually the moon? Like, what is the moon? And then you get the one distant cousin who just throws you that look on the Christmas dinner table, and everyone else is just like kind of disregarding it. Dude, I love that shit. That's what I live for. Not even joking.
Man, if you want, man, just the next time you're with them, if I'm about, mate, just ping me and I'll speak to them if you want. I'll ask them some questions. And, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. They got the link to the Discord. Like give them that. Like people here want to. I mean,
well, that is a thing. And
I don't know. I mean, it's easier than because I don't know. Sometimes it seems like when you start saying something, they know you. They're just like, oh yeah, I know how you are. But like, from a different person, they might be like, they'll hear the same thing that you probably said, but hearing it from somebody else, they'll be like, wow, I never heard of that before. You'd be like, dude, I just told you this. Like, that does happen.
Well,
so.
I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm a kind of guy who I've had a lot of theory about a lot of things throughout my life. Like when I was a kid, I used to think that carrots wasn't healthy, and I used to like promote this idea in my family. So I kind of got this reputation, I think, in my family of like, well, he's just a kid who believes a certain thing that he just read, because I had read about carrots not being healthy. I had a source for it, but then when I come out and I say that, like, well, maybe the moon landing isn't what we think, then they're kind of like thinking back on that 6-year-old kid. So that's why I think for a lot of people, it's hard to deal with family members revealing these truths, because they revert
strangers.
to the kiddo version and that kind of thing. So
well, they see how they see all your flaws, don't they? Like, and that's kind of what
they do.
So they instead of giving you the credit for, okay, well, let's hear it. There's already in their minds here it comes.
To like a girl who's like deeply in love with you and who's kind of naive, and she will like, oh yeah, he believes this, and but I'm gonna trust him. Like, it's like a very different thing. It's like someone who inherently has a reason to doubt you versus someone who inherently has a reason to believe you. So you're kind of like,
Can I say a short love story?
Please do.
Okay. I was walking with my girlfriend, and I just told her that I don't believe that I live in the spinning ball anymore.
Today?
And nowadays she's my ex-girlfriend, but then current wife.
What? Your ex-girlfriend, but your current wife?
Yeah, she's now my ex-girlfriend, but she's now my current wife.
How many babies do you have?
Not together. We don't have babies together.
Okay, but you will?
Maybe not. We are pretty old. I'm 44 and she's pretty older than mine. So not doing any babies. We try to do. Sex is fun, but maybe.
All right.
Anyway,
well, yeah.
Did you understand the joke? Did you
Yes.
get the joke? She's not my girlfriend anymore. She's my wife. So that is a true love story. I don't know if she's a flat earther or not, but I just told what I think. I was honest.
After that, she's still kind of like, okay, well,
she stayed with me. That's the love.
Well, it's like accepting what you believe, but not necessarily believing in you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like respecting. We don't talk about it. Okay, she will see my Facebook because I post every single day there or something about flat Earth, so she will see it. We don't talk about it so much, but I believe that and. But I'm a kind of an Facebook, how to say, person
Addict.
or whatever.
Facebook addict. Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook addict as well, and a Discord addict, and a flat Earth addict, and I should be sleeping for 2 hours ago. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys still have a good relationship, and it's.
Of course, yeah. But the point was that sometimes just say what you think and be honest to people that you love. And if they really love you, they respect that and love you still, whatever you believe. But it's a scary thing. I haven't talked to my parents at all. My both parents are still alive. They're pretty old, but I haven't talked about this issue at all. Like not.
What is your let me ask you this. If you could, in your ideal scenario, like best case scenario, how would you present this topic to your parents? Because I think a lot of people watching and listening are asking themselves this. Like, there are people who have come to this realization. They've looked at all the NASA footage. They've looked at all of the Jeranism videos. They see all of this documentation, and they have this like internal understanding. But then they're like, "Shit, man, I'm like completely I'm in complete disagreement with my parents." So, in your like, if you think like logically and reasonably, how would you present these ideas ideally to your parents?
I have no idea or courage to do that.
It doesn't even matter. I went and told my mom. As soon as I found out, didn't hurt. You can't live life in fear. You live life in fear, you're not living.
So you're saying like just go out there and tell them what you think?
Yep, just like the police, kick the door in. Hey, this is what it is.
Yeah, that would be the best. Just put out what you think about that, and regardless, don't mind about the reactions or what.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of reasonable. Like, they don't have any power over you, so in one way you should just explain it. If you even have any interest of like, telling them about it. A lot of people go about their lives. They just like, well, my parents believe this. I believe this. It's a separated thing. For some people, they think that they have to merge this stuff.
There is no love lost. We still love each other, but it is what it is.
But I'm still scared. I don't know why. Maybe I'm scared because, for example, my parents, they watch the news like 5 times a day in the television. They are total indoctrinated by the news.
Yeah.
And they've been so for like 60 years. So bursting their bubble or going there just I don't know. I'm just scared. I don't know. That's such me.
But you're still there. You're still their baby boy. Like, imagine if you had a child and you believed something for 50 years, but then your own child, like your own flesh and blood, came up to you and said something that he truly felt strongly about. Like, I think that you would actually take that with serious consideration, and you wouldn't like care about all of this outside nonsense. Like, I truly think that might be the case.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm scared, but I'm scared to talk with them. I can talk with my friends and relatives about, and I can in online. I'm easier to talk about it in a chat for strangers and also religious people because I belong in the religious kind of. I believe in Jesus and stuff, so I talk with those guys with this earth, but they don't believe there flat Earth, they are still in the spinning ball. But I'm brave enough to talk with that kind of people, but not all.
Right,
There's some
right.
limits in my. It's just I don't know what it is, but something is
Right.
preventing me talking in
But
everything.
it's and that's like that's a fascinating aspect of the human condition, which is that like we are able to share these really like these ideas that we consider like highly internal, highly internalized, highly secret. We can share them with completely anonymous and strange people, but when it comes to the humans that gave us life, like our mother and father, we have this hesitation, and we feel somewhat embarrassed, and we say that, well, I can't share these ideas. Like, we can talk about camping wagons and cars and football teams, but we can't talk about the shape of the earth. That would be going too far. And maybe there's a reason for that that I don't yet understand. Like, maybe there's a biological thing, like maybe you're not supposed to disrupt that biological chain, but it seems like maybe this is just another social construct, and that our fathers would actually benefit from hearing our feedback and interpretation of the information that we've gotten. Maybe that they would become even more wiser. That's what I like to believe, and that's what I'm hoping to, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hope I have the courage to do I'll tell to my parents someday when the time is right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Anyway, what made you the? Yeah. Sorry. Can you say again?
I think I was asking where you're living.
I'm living in Finland in an apartment. I'm not hearing any answer, but maybe he's on.
Yeah, no, I think it dropped out. So you had another question to
how
to
did
the people, or
Skygazer? You seem to be pretty new to this thing. When did you go into the flat Earth?
Well, I've I don't know why I seem new. I take that slightly offensive, but I've been into this about 4 years.
So double to me. I've been 2 years. So sorry. You sounded so how it's called when somebody is so
very very open-minded and generous and kind. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My bad.
Yeah.
I'll try not to express those kind of behaviors.
Yeah, try to behave like
yeah, I'll try to be more fierce and mad, and yeah. So about 4 years, I've been into this, and this is a big thing. Like, it's not random that I was. What
are the wages like?
Oh, the wages, dude. The wages are terrible.
Yeah. Is it screen time, or what
no?
What is it you get paid by?
No, working. Regular job. Regular job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's like decent pay. I can afford living in a city, affording a good apartment, working a decent job, but it's not as fulfilling. Like, I would rather work as a woodworker out on the countryside, to be honest, and just feed my whole family. if I'm being real.
Yeah, my lad's here at the minute, and he works in a warehouse, and he was just thinking how good it would be to just sit and get paid to troll on the internet.
But the guy doesn't know what he's even fantasizing about, to be honest. He doesn't even understand the suffering that it entails.
Hey, Baps. Hey, level one.
Yeah?
Hey, did you check your DMs?
Yeah.
What you think about it?
Your pictures of the sun.
Yeah, the video too.
I didn't see the video.
Alright guys, this is not the channel to share sauna videos. Just saying.
By the way, Redman, you had a question for me earlier. You dropped.
Yeah, I live in the United States in Georgia. I was trying to see if you ever catch the moon.
Okay.
Hey, Redman, what happened with that shooting out there at Walmart?
Hey, Redman, do you
I
ever
don't
consider
know.
yourself a big boy or no?
Hey, let him answer my question first, dude.
You know what? I don't even watch the news. I hadn't watched the news in 6 months. I don't even watch the.
That's fair. I didn't watch it either. Somebody told me that happened.
Nah, my house is set. I have no neighbors, so I don't even watch the news. I go to work, get on Discord, enjoy life, and try to figure something.
Yo, did you ever encounter this guy called Grim Nasty or no?
Who you talk to?
No, I'm talking to you because this is a YouTuber from Georgia in the US. He calls himself Grim Nasty.
No, I'm too old for that stuff. I
Oh.
don't even listen to music like that.
No, this guy's like 4-year-old. He's just a YouTuber. He just films himself doing like fasting and sun gazing and stuff. But if you haven't encountered him, it's all good.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry.
Alright. No worries. All right. Next question.
Sound like a rapper or something.
Bro, he's legit. Like he's like planning to go to the North Pole with a boat and shit. But anyway, not
He's not
chilling
gonna
for
go
that
there.
guy. He gets like
Nope.
100 views on his YouTube videos on a single day. But anyway.
Well, one thing is nobody can go to the North Pole nor the South Pole. So I mean.
Yeah, well that's what this this motherfucker's trying to disprove. He's fully aware of that shit, but he's big into like sun gazing, fasting. Interesting factoid is that he fasted for like 10 days, and then if you watch his video on like the 10th day of fasting, his voice is like considerably seems younger. Like he seems like a younger motherfucker. It seems like he's de-aged like several years.
How did he fast? Was it a water fast or was it nothing?
Yeah, he drinks like a little bit of water in the morning and the evening, but that's it. And then he just sun gazes. So he just basically looks at the sun. And this is like 10 days out of food. And then he's like making a conscious effort of like looking at his muscles. So he's like, yeah, I still got my muscles, bro. And he films his muscles. And yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, personally, I've fasted for like 7 days. The name was Grim Nasty. Grim Nasty. Just look at his like latest videos of this last 7 days.
He has a YouTube channel?
Yeah. He's like a graphic artist. Graphic artist, does graffiti and that kind of stuff. Big into a lot of Gnosticism and weird stuff, but his fasting stuff is legit. Yeah, but anyway, I didn't mean to disrupt the conversation here. So please go on.
Now I'm about to post up a video. I want you to watch it. Check it out.
Right on. Yeah, so this is kind of like what I was saying about the Flat Earth channel was that, you know, I think there's a big community out there that doesn't want to like deep discuss these globy arguments. Like we want to discuss kind of things that are more interesting once you've understood the concept of flat Earth. You want to investigate these deeper topics, and that's kind of the goal of this channel. And I think it's really cool that, you know, so many people joined, and regardless if they wanted to troll or not, I think it's really nice that, you know, people are hanging out and that kind of thing. So you know, I'll open it up to if there are any topics or questions that people want to discuss, you know, whether it be about flat Earth or do you want to discuss like global Earth topics or
That's very nice of you.
Or like Antarctica
Look
stuff
at that
or
video.
whatever it is. Like,
Look at that video I just posted.
Yeah. So let's hear it. So whatever you want to discuss, you know, just shout out and then let's hear about it.
Thank you for your permission. We have
Look
some
at
new
that video.
people.
Sorry, Emma. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Yeah, look at the video, but we have got some new people if they do want to ask questions. But yeah, that video, I saw that a while ago, and it's very strange.
I wish I could see it too, myself.
It's quite an old video as well, isn't it?
I think it is.
Which video is it?
I just posted it.
It's the one of the one. It's the moon in Antarctica. It's like the old video, and it's really freaky. We saw it about a month ago, maybe.
That was another video that I think they deleted it off my page, where I saved the video, where the guy was talking about he was in a submarine and he went down into the ocean and he couldn't go down no further. I had to see if I No. It was almost like he was how you say, where he described it was that he's in the ocean, but yet he sees another river that he can't get down into.
Bro, that sounds like lucid dreaming to me. Like that sounds like alternate dream state. Not gonna lie.
No. He's in a submarine. He can't dive any.
Yeah.
Can't dive any further into.
There's like a lake of water that he can't get into in the bottom.
You seen it too?
Yeah. That one's weird. There is an explanation, but I can't remember. There's some reason that it separates. If anyone else remembers, let me know.
That moon one looks rubbish though. Doesn't even look like a moon. I'm not
so
sure.
You're deep diving into the lake, and then what happens? Like, what specifically happens?
Yeah, sorry, Bev, you were saying?
Yeah, that moon one that Redmond's just put up, that doesn't even look like a moon. I'm not too sure what that's meant to be.
No, that's what I mean by it's weird.
It's not.
Right.
It's not even what it's meant to be, or even claimed to be.
Right. But so you were saying that you dove deep into a lake and then it felt like you were drowning, but then you weren't really, or what?
No, that's not at all what anybody said. The guy was in a little submarine. He goes to the bottom, and then there's like a lake of water that he can't enter. He physically can't get in there, and there's some reason that water has separated from the rest, but I can't remember the reason. But just watch the video.
Right, because
the video that they dive down there, and there's like some eels or whatever that go inside the high salinity water, and they can only go in there for like a few seconds, and they come back out. They only die.
Yeah. And there's loads of dead crabs in it. Yeah, that's it. The high salinity. Yeah.
It's too much salt concentration. That's the reason that anything goes in there dies.
Yeah, I heard about this a couple of weeks ago. Does somebody have the link? I'd like to check it out.
Yeah, I think Redmond's going to find it.
Okay, thanks.
It's on Netflix. I mean, the whole documentary's there on Netflix.
You remember the name of it?
Right.
It's one of those things. No, actually, I don't. So you probably better off with the link, I guess.
But so what's your opinion on when something becomes a documentary on Netflix? Does that increase your faith in the theory, or does it decrease your faith in the theory?
It's some Discovery Channel thing. You know, it would normally be on Discovery Channel. You know, they have animals and all that shit. It's just some documentary on what's at the bottom of the ocean. That's all it is. It's not some conspiracy thing.
Well, yeah, that's not really my question. My question is just whether or not you believe in the documentary that's being presented.
Yeah, but we were just run. Sorry for.
Well, it's just like if I'm watching something on ants. You know, that's all I can do is believe what they're showing me. I mean, that's as far as it goes. I've never gone into a colony of ants to know what the hell goes on. But they're showing me, so I just have to accept that. You know, that's as far as it goes.
So did you witness this phenomena that's being displayed in the documentary, or what are you saying here?
All right, here, where are you going with this? Is my question. Where are you going?
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling it's alluding to the Flat Earth documentary Behind the Curve. Like if you have to.
That's my question. Do you believe in the theory that's being presented in the documentary, or do you reject the theory? It's a pretty simple question.
Yeah, but you've just taken us from a passing discussion about a video that Redmond and I were talking about, and you brought it round to somehow the Discovery Channel. Bizarre.
No, I never brought up the term Discovery Channel.
You're making it something bigger than it is, dude. I mean, it's not that deep.
All right, so what's on the smallest level, on the most simplified level, what is the documentary about?
What's at the bottom of the damn ocean, bro? That's all it's about.
We kind of went over this, really.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen something. It's probably what you guys are talking about. Like, there's like a denser layer of water or something like that, or maybe it was something about the salinity of the water where it appeared.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, where I've seen a video where you've got a guy who's scuba diving and I don't remember exactly about not being able to pass through it, but I remember being underwater and then looking at an area that looked like a lake underwater, which was just astounding imagery. Like it was
astounding imagery. Yeah, astounding imagery.
What?
Who is that person? Who's the skeptic there?
This is Skygazer, and this is all he does.
No, you know what
he
else is
literally
astounding
talks in
imagery?
Circles,
is the imagery of the
circles
moon.
and circles and circles, and then
called
talks over
astounding
everybody.
Imagery.
Talks about himself all the time, and just
I'm not
manages
talking
to
about
keep
myself. If I'm talking
keeps
about
us
the
away from the flat Earth
models
topic
of
as
the
much
solar
as he can.
system,
we're talking about something that's some very astounding imagery. Sorry if you don't like the term. Underwater. This is what we're talking about. Now
Doesn't matter if I like it or not.
Well, no, yeah, you're laughing at it and trying to relate it to the moon
throughout this whole conversation.
Oh no. Well, being I don't know. Your tone was pretty facetious there. I don't know what the right word is there, but
no, I'm
yeah,
honestly stating the fact that
you know,
the solar system, the footage of the solar system is astounding imagery. It's astounding
we're talking
imagery.
about the water. You go, astounding. Oh, the moon. Now that's astounding imagery. Yeah.
I'm saying that the same description could be applied to the solar system, right?
The thing is, I
Would
can
you
be
agree?
I can be
Or
pretty
would you
sure.
disagree?
I can be pretty sure that the imagery taken from a scuba diver is not CGI'd.
Well, you could be pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I could be pretty sure as well. I'm just saying that the imagery could be pretty astounding as well. Doesn't mean that I have to believe it.
Yawn. Okay.
You
Right.
sound really, really, really butthurt about something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but
And
you do.
let's talk about lack of curvature or lack of movement in general, or something to do with flat Earth.
Lack of
Flat.
conversational skills.
It's flat, yo.
I heard that in Moisey.
No, you did. Talking to you directly.
No, we can still talk about the underwater stuff. Just because I disagree with it doesn't mean that I'm 100% right.
No, I just said we need to talk about
it.
flat Earth. Oh my God, what is wrong
I'm
with
wondering,
you?
yeah, what do you have to disagree with? You haven't even seen the video that we're talking about. You disagree with it right off the bat. It's not anything conspiratorial. It's like, was that Chocolate was saying? Yeah, it's like just one of those, yeah, kind of like you said, Discovery Channel or nature type stuff. It's all it was.
I literally saw the video, though. I'm just saying that if you're relying on a visual stimuli to determine what your reality is, you're kind of like put in a bind where you're left upon believing on your visual stimuli, and you don't really want to be put in that situation, right?
This guy's funny, man. What a jokester. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, it was hilarious. All the people in the 60s who believed in the 1960s moon landing, right? It was hilarious. It was hilarious. You're laughing about that, right?
Yeah, we're laughing that people bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're laughing.
Dude,
Where's
you
that
got a
third guy?
bug
Why
up
isn't
your ass.
that third guy? That third guy isn't laughing.
I told you he's pretty butthurt about something.
No, why aren't you laughing? You were laughing about people believing in underwater footage representing reality, but somehow you're not applying the same logic to outer space.
I think you got that reversed. We're laughing at the outer space shit, the underwater stuff. We're just discussing how it was interesting.
Well, why couldn't we apply the same logic to say that, oh yeah, the outer space footage is interesting?
Well, it is interesting. It's also bullshit.
Right. So what makes you think that the underwater thing is real, but the outer space thing is bullshit?
No, listen, they could have made it up just for some documentary on the underwater thing too. It's possible. Unless I go there to see it, I'd like to see it. But that's the thing, is that's something that you actually have a chance of go and see. Like, you might be able to do this, you could go, I mean, you'd have to, I think it was like actually like within like caves, like spelunking or something like that I saw it. So it's kind of high risk. You have to be trained like a good scuba diver, but you could do it. You can't just go to the moon.
Right, but you can go 200 meters below water.
You got a better chance. You got a better chance of doing that than going to the moon. I'll tell you that much.
All right, so you're comparing like a completely fantastical imaginary scenario.
We don't even want to talk about this. We don't even want to talk about this. You're the one doing it. We're just.
Oh, you were ridiculing me for this.
Right, guys. So we do have a mute button. Guy's been going for an hour. Please feel completely free to use the mute button at any time that somebody complains about conversations being taken over in Borders, and then literally takes over the whole conversation and monologues the whole entire time and doesn't get fucking hints. It's crazy. But yeah, please feel free to use the mute button, guys.
Thanks, Jedi.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I left the other stream earlier because it was the Xanax show, and it appears that we turned into this Guy Gazer show on this side. So
yeah,
I don't know. I've had a look back down there, and Xanax's still in the other room, so I can't go back down there.
Of course, yes. That's why I'm in here.
Yeah.
Is it Zanuck? Is it still Zanuck and Dallas going at it? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I'm not going to go and listen. I know Xanax's in there. I think they're all muted, but I don't know. He might be waiting for somebody to go back down there so he can start talking again.
Once I saw the split in the groups, I was like, wow, Xanax's not in the room. I was like, finally, I could have a decent combo.
Yeah, no. Well,
you can now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can now. Awesome. Thanks, Jedi.
Breath of fresh air.
No worries again. See? Mute button. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so what does a guy around here got to do for some muting powers?
Not ask for muting powers.
Who was that actually who said that?
That's Vagabond, I think.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I mean, if you get nominated for gold, you'll be able to mute people.
I was just joking. I don't really need muting powers. I was just trying to be funny. Yeah, these guys do a pretty good job, silencing the trolls pretty well.
Yeah, it's just kind of part of the ranking up thing. A lot of activity in here, and it comes. Eventually, someone will nominate you for a promotion.
Nice. I can't wait to get my own very own shiny gavel.
We call them banhammers.
Ooh, I like that name better, actually. It's got a nice little ring to it,
Yeah, with shiny gab, can't even say it. Sorry. With shiny gavel comes great responsibility.
Of course, I can see me with the first week, just like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, no, and then it'll be taken off you.
Jeez, I knew Emma was gonna come in.
Well, I got to admit, when I first got mine, I was just waiting. I was like lurking around in the lobby for some asshole to be like, "Yeah, bam, got him."
It's gotta feel decent. I'm not gonna lie. Don't give me a server. Oh my god, I'd be running it like military rule.
Oh my god, we've got Chad. Hi, Chad.
Hey, Chad. What's up, buddy?
Hi,
Chad.
how you doing?
Evening, Chad.
Hey guys, it's me, Fifi. I'm back.
Hey,
Fifi. Hello,
Hi,
Fifi.
I've been gone for like 2 weeks, guys, and my voice is gone.
Yeah, your voice sounds way different.
Yeah, it's
How you
like
feeling?
gone because I'm kind of sick.
Sorry to hear. What's the
Yeah,
matter?
does anybody want to go to voice check-in and check in that guy called like B-Jock? Oh wait, isn't he? Oh wait, he left. Never mind.
Okay, if you see me about again, give us a shout, and I've got to check in and check.
Okay, I'll ask him.
Is he a friend of yours?
Not really. Why?
Just wondering.
Alright, cool. Does anybody remember my voice from before? It's so different. It's like really different right now.
Well, weren't you the one who was here with your friend and you were always talking at the same time?
Oh, you mean like Bulldog?
I mean, if you're the same Fifi, unless we've got more than one.
Yeah,
I remember you. Okay, welcome back.
I'm remembered. That's I feel honored.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's good to have you.
Who's talking?
This is Mary, Mom.
Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, I remember you.
Yes, because I was the only one who participated in your antics.
Yes.
Antics, huh?
That's what...
Seems like I missed something.
Great.
Oh no, it's just
Have we got another derailer?
It could be, but
Well,
maybe
this one's
this time
not going to
it's
last. No,
yeah.
this one's not going to last very long if it is.
Maybe it's a fresh start, right? We won't derail today, right,
Fresh
Fifi?
start.
No way. I won't. No way, mate.
Best behavior.
Who's
Good.
Emma? Is Emma Paradoxia?
No, I'm English.
Okay. Kind of sounded the same. That's why I wondered.
So, Fifi, what's the matter? You said you're sick?
Yeah, I kind of have a cold, so it kind of sucks, but it's okay. Because it's really cold where I live now.
You'll pull
It
through.
it was like 100 degrees Fahrenheit like a week ago, and now it's like 40.
Drastic changes will do it.
Yeah. But it's all okay. And right now I'm doing my world history AP homework.
Quick question, Sir Vagabond, how long have you been gold for?
How long have I been gold for? I don't even know. What, 3 weeks? 4 weeks? Yeah,
All right, well, I think you're due the gold plus. Check the live stream one. I'm going to teach you how to use the bot.
Oh, nice. That's Baba Yaga?
Yes, sir.
It's the god. It's the god himself from Admin Heaven. Yes, he's descended down.
The god himself.
And bestowed this upon you.
So where am I going to?
Use it wisely, Vagabond.
So, Sir Vagabond, go to live stream one where you just posted your thing, and I want you to type exclamation list, and then press enter.
Bada bing. Nothing happened now.
All right, try exclamation commands. Sorry, I'm rusty, dude. I've been gone. It's
That's
actually
okay.
exclamation commands.
Commands with an S at the end?
Correct.
Dude, I tried the commands command like a week or two ago, and I didn't get a DM with them. It
They're
was
not
weird.
working, huh? Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. All right, so pretty much, long story short, Sir Vagabond, if you get people trolling, you can obviously mute them in the voice channels.
Cool.
You can also, if you get a troll that's really bad, I'm pretty sure people will teach you how to ban people, like when something is a bannable offense. You would put exclamation ban space, you add their name, and then after you add their name, you have the choice to put the default time, which is if you put nothing, and it just puts them in. Let's say you put ban, it's like about, I think, 7 days. But if you want, you could put a time limit on it. You could put like exclamation ban space at their name space 2, and that would be like 2 minutes.
I've seen that before, actually.
Yeah, let's test it on a person real quick.
Test
Maybe
it on
you-
Zanuck, whatever. I mean, he's
There you go.
already here.
Test it on Zanuck. Put him for 1 minute.
I'm joking.
Come on, good idea. Just for
No,
fun.
I'm not gonna do that. That's not cool. At least let him do something first. See,
All right, well, do it to me then.
Already, I'm using these powers wisely. Yeah,
All right, Sir Vagabond, do you see what I just did? That's how
Yeah,
you
I
do
see.
it.
I see what you did. Cool.
The best way, actually, though, or a really good way, is to copy the user ID. So you probably want to go into your Discord settings and make sure that you have developer mode turned on.
I don't even know how to do that.
I think it's under appearance, and then it's just a box that you click. So,
appearance.
Yes, Sir Vagabond. I don't know if are you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone now. Oh yeah, I see developer.
Okay, so
developer
go
mode.
to the main page, and you see at the very bottom when
Oh, no, I
you
got
can
my
see
laptop in
all the
front of me as
channels.
well.
There's a little cogwheel. You push that cogwheel, right?
Yeah, I got it. I got
All
my
right,
laptop
and then
open
go
as
to
well. Appearance
I believe
development.
it is under appearances, and
Yeah,
all
I
the
got
way.
it. I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
took it over.
So after you do that, now you have the ability, when you hold on someone's name, it says copy ID, which is actually the best way, because for some reason, the app works to put people in, but to take people out, since they're not in that channel no more, it's kind of hard. You have to actually copy the ID sometimes.
I
Sometimes
see
it
it.
works, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah, when you use at, it only works for people who are in the same channel you are in. But if you use the copy ID for ban or unban, if you use that, it'll work anywhere in the server.
Got it.
Got it.
Boom. Thank you, guys.
And it's a little bit more anonymous. Well, not really, because you'll type in the ID and then it'll say that the person's name was banned. Not that it needs to be anonymous, but like I don't know, for some reason, I like when you have a whole troop of trolls, they're gonna start being like, "Why did he get banned?" and all that shit.
I understand.
Yeah.
I like doing it
I will use these newfound powers wisely, I promise. I shall not get overzealous.
I think it's fun to let them know when you do it. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell them
what?
straight up.
I'm banning you. What's up?
Yeah.
As long as you do it for a reason. I don't just do it to do it. I'm one of the nicest mods here. But I mean, if someone's not obeying the rules and they're being a dick, I'll ban you. I don't care, and I'll let them see it.
Yeah, you always ban people.
Me?
Yeah.
Always? Really?
Always.
I always ban trolls. You're right. I'm good at my job. I ban trolls. You're right.
Yeah, Mitty's pretty fair. I haven't seen him kind of fly off the handle too much in here.
But he does sometimes, don't he?
No, he doesn't.
Everybody who has the power bans people from time to time. You
I
sort
do
of
it.
have to. It's part of the job.
And I go a little bit OD sometimes, like everyone else, but I do it less than probably most people here. I'll say that. I've dropped in.
I'll try to match your etiquette, Mitty. Obviously, you're such a upstanding gentleman.
But sometimes you guys ban people even though they don't break any rules. So be honest. Be honest.
When? You have
Are
an
you
example
concerned? Are you concerned?
well,
I mean, will you guys at least admit it?
Are you concerned?
Will you at least admit it?
Are you concerned?
At least admit it. That's all I want.
Yeah, no,
I
now you can
I
be
will admit
muted.
there are some people who use their power probably a little bit too much and have been known to ban people for very minimal reasons, or that may not necessarily be against rules, but those people tend to get unbanned pretty quickly also. Most of the mods are really fair. They're not going around doing that.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to create that environment anyways, because then people feel like they're just being kind of like, shut up basically, instead of like being engaged in conversation. Like I don't mind the conversation as long as it's just not circular arguments where no one's getting anywhere. That's just draining for everybody.
Yeah, that circular logic or that spherical logic.
That spherical logic. Yeah, nice one.
It is, man. Think about it. It's like you have one assumption supporting another assumption supported by another assumption.
Yeah,
it is kind of a spherical logic.
And that's the thing. You realize, I realize the people that are doing it, they can't even see the assumptions that they're putting forward. I'm like, hold on, those are assumptions. You can't just keep dumping these bad boys in here. So you gotta clean the muck out.
Yeah, well, they conflate the observation with the interpretation. So when you do that, it's like, well, I see that, therefore my model is true. Well, what if that can be explained on a different model? Then what? Is it still true?
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's because we're all seeing the same shit, right? We're all seeing the sunset. We're seeing the boats, getting cut off from the bottom up. It's your interpretation of that that's gonna, lead you to a different conclusion.
Yeah, that's why this topic fascinates me so much, because it's like the things that we perceive, that some of them are just like rock solid right in front of you. The fact that we can see things so completely different really makes me see kind of the way the mind works from a different angle that I'd never seen it before this topic came about. I'd always seemed like, most people could reason their way to certain things, but now I know, no, most people cannot reason their way to certain things. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong on the topic, I'm just saying, it's just I can see the differentiation.
Yeah.
New York, you talking about me?
No, not at all. And if I did, it would only be positive words.
Thank you, brother.
No worries.
Yeah, man. I mean, even just the language that we use, I pointed this out a while back, but like we call it the sunset, sunrise. It's implying that the sun is doing some kind of action, but in their model, that's not the case. It's because we're, spinning and stuff. So it's so funny how it's ingrained in the language, and it's so obvious, and yet it's, taboo to say, oh, the sun is actually rising.
Yeah, I realized a while back words matter, man. Like the definitions of words matter, how people use words matter. It's like I don't think a lot of people take the words that seriously because they think it's just, oh, it's just this means, what everybody, genuinely accepts it to mean. But I'm like, well, no. There's a nuance there in those two words like that matter for the understanding. But most people try to gloss over it. That's why they don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that we use this language and it's implying the sun's motion. But, when you ask someone who's a globe defender, not just like a regular person, but a globe defender, like, so do we see the sun moving in the sky? It's like almost like they don't even want to answer that question because they know what it implies. It's
Sure.
either the sun's moving or we're moving. I mean, just as an example. But
Sure.
it is really such a great debate, though, man. It's like the ultimate
wow.
philosophical debate, but at the same time, there is an objective reality. There is an
Of course.
objective truth behind it.
And that's why I like the debate so much. It's like there's so many objective realities that you can pull into this debate, So it's like when I hear kind of, subjective things being thrown in, I'm just like, whoa, let's just stay with the objective ones for now. Like, let's not skip over.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Like I notice, like they go, "We know this, we know that." Like usually when you hear that in a debate, it's like they're trying to slip in an assumption, but as like a fact. Like, yeah, we know this, so I'm going to use this assumption as my basis for the next thing. But wait, do we know that? How do we know that? Who tested that? Where was that done?
Yeah.
Like where's the math for that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention his name, but the gentleman that's always using like his teacher's, observations and his teacher's theories and theses. I'm just like, whoa, that's your teacher's thoughts. I was like, those aren't even your own. I was like, you can't just lump his ideas and represent them like your own in here. I was like, what if he's dumb too? I was like, you're just gonna believe him?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if he's smart, he's going off of an assumption to begin with. So,
Of course.
He's just, if that assumption is wrong, then everything else is wrong.
Exactly. And if you're trying to be detail oriented and right, then you have to be very detail oriented in what you accept to be part of your understanding. Yeah, I didn't realize I was such a science geek until like the flat Earth thing, and I realized I really do have like a passion for just understanding shit.
Yeah, I've always had a passion for philosophy, and I guess part of that is what got me involved in the whole debate aspect of it. But
Sure.
when I took earth science in high school, that shit was boring. Whatever. I
Word.
took
Yep.
AP Earth Science in like junior high school. Dude, when you're 13, you don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
I hated that
Yo,
class.
mate, if I show you my report card and you see how many 45s are on that thing, you're like, yo, Jerry, how are you even here? Mind blowing to you.
But in college, I did have an earth science teacher. He was pretty passionate about it. He was a pretty cool dude, and I did enjoy it. We didn't talk about the shape of the earth. We were just getting into like the nuances of like the different sediment layers and the freaking the fault lines and that kind of stuff and volcanoes, and it was fun. But yeah, flat Earth really got me more interested in science and
Oh, big time.
so many different.
Yeah,
There's so many topics.
yeah,
Man.
I didn't know any of this stuff like the scientific method. Like I'd heard that before, and I knew roughly what it was in terms of hypotheses and making assumptions and trying to figure them out. But I didn't understand like the nuances in terms of like where these things really, where the rubber hits the road for some of these arguments. I had to really learn that again while I came back in here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what it really comes down to. Even if you want to go ahead and keep believing in the globe, flat Earth makes you question like, well, how do we know this? And even a lot of globe believers say like, yeah, flat Earth really got me to question a lot of things that I never
Oh yeah,
would
big
have even
time.
questioned. Yeah.
Big time. Oh, I've translated that to all aspects of my life now. Like my diet, I started from square one. I was like, okay, I'm not eating anything except what my body like ideally wants. And then I started doing like literally an analysis of all different types of doctors, all different types of opinions, personal accounts. And I was like, all right, well, let me use the scientific method. What can I prove? What can I try on myself? And let me measure it. Let me measure my blood pressure. Let me measure my weight. Let me measure my heart rate. And like I was able to, put together a decent protocol off of like the scientific method, because now I know I cannot believe what I see on TV. I have to trust myself and my senses again.
Wow, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's like your body is like the experiment, and you're controlling the variables. No, but I get what you're saying. It's more, you're taking a more scientific approach to everything, and I think also like the flat Earth thing is just so empowering, because once you realize, holy shit, I'm in control of this, and like all these authorities, they don't mean shit, and now it all comes down to like what I do and what I decide.
Yeah, big time.
It's very empowering.
Oh, hugely empowering, hugely. And I can tell just in the conversations I have with the people, I can still see like, when people are having a chat and they're using a lot of assumptions in what they're saying. I don't correct anybody, but it's like I can see it so much clearly now because I'm in these debates. I'm always looking for someone to try to push something as opposed to just, discovering what could be the truth through just questioning back and forth.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Super interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is great, man. I love that this exists, that we could have this platform. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I would have never expected this to exist. This is completely foreign to me because I don't even game, so I would have never discovered Discord just naturally.
Yeah, I don't get to talk about this stuff in real life. I'm not like, if I'm on a date or something, I'm not going to be bringing this shit up, But actually, it's funny. My brother he actually just called me up, and normally, I bring up some conspiracy theory stuff, and he doesn't really care that much. But recently, he's been getting into it, and he just pretty much called me up, and he was like, "Yo, dude, I mean, this flat Earth stuff, man, I think it's flat." Like, I put him onto it.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, just now. Yeah, he just called me out. We had an hour-long conversation. I mean, we were talking about some other things too, but yeah, he's like, "There's no way, man. This shit is crazy."
I think it's the ultimate way to like wake people up, because it's like if you can see this and you can grasp what this means, you understand like, ooh, like I was duped. Yeah, right? You're like, you got me. I was duped. And like, was the whole George Bush thing. He was like, fool me once. So like I think that applies here. Like when you've been fooled one good time, you're like, okay, not again.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they've already been fooled. Like 9/11, moon landings. Like my brother, he was already up on 9/11. He already knew about all that. And moon landings, I mean, like in general, like with NASA, he saw the documentaries, what was it, Astronauts Gone Wild, the way they reacted to some of the questions. Like he already had a lot of questions about that. But,
Sure.
It wasn't until Flat Earth, even for myself, like I watched those documentaries with my brother, but it wasn't until Flat Earth that I actually kind of dug in a little deeper to see like, whoa, why were those astronauts acting like that? I just thought like maybe,
Yeah, it didn't make any
I don't know.
sense. And like for me, it was like all these little pieces that got like strung together over time.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
I'd see the astronaut picture, but I didn't think anything of it the first time I saw it. And then I would learn a little bit more. Like, yeah, you're right. That is the wrong reaction if you just fucking land on the moon. But I needed somebody else to point that out to me before I could see it clearly.
Yeah, that was, I saw a really good analysis of that. Just the language that they used. This guy hired like a speech analyze. I don't know what the proper
Yeah,
term is, but
speech
it's
analyst.
like
Sounds
some
right.
kind of psychologist that analyzes speech.
Mhm.
And they were analyzing the way that they were speaking about the moon missions. It's very
Mhm.
interesting because they refrained from using like the first person perspective, and it was very like disconnected from an actual like experience. It was like, well, when you're on the moon, like when you're on the moon, like well, one would notice this, like that kind of speech. That was the way that they kind of talk. It was very interesting just to analyze it from a speech perspective. And yeah, they looked a certain way too.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't really hear these astronauts saying, yeah, I see this or I saw that. This is what you see. Like it's pretty much always how it is.
Well, it indicates that they're removed from this thing, like as if it were like a story, or if it's like something that they're trying to convey that they didn't personally, you know, because if you were on the freaking moon, you'd be like, yeah, dude, that was crazy. I seen this, I seen that. Like,
Yeah, of course.
you see it. Like,
Yeah, you'd be verbally vomiting. You know, I mean, it'd
You
be
know.
verbal diarrhea coming out of you.
Right.
Like, oh my god, like the way the dust felt, like the way that the gravity felt, like because you'd be defining gravity, like trying to put it into words the best that you could, because it's a unique experience only you've experienced. You know. Just a little an aside. Sky Gazer messaged me asking me if
Yeah, he
I'm muted.
messaged me also. Are we ready to take him out of the corner?
Yeah, just okay. Before I unmute you, I have no problem unmuting you. Just we like to give everyone a chance to speak, and some people tend to like go off a little bit longer than others. So just try to like be mindful and just give everyone a chance. And you're good.
Well, no, that's
And-
not what his issue was.
Yeah, don't be some type of passive aggressive douchebag either. Freaking, if you got something to say, say it.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
just
didn't
kidding.
know
I'm
that.
just kidding.
Yeah, if you're gonna be passive aggressive, just be aggressive. Come at me, bro.
Get at me, dog.
You know what I mean? None of that passive shit. We're from New York
Dude,
here.
I'm more aggressive rather than passive. You're making me choose.
I'm just saying. You shouldn't do either one. But if you had to choose, then choose wisely.
Yeah.
Like you gotta choose your battles, man.
Hey, man, I'm just here to listen.
All right, that sounds good. I'm just here to moderate and listen, and sometimes talk.
Well, like I was saying before, I had a couple things in my mind, the things I was gonna try, as far as like that, little demonstration that I did, New York. I'm gonna scale it up a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna get the moon maybe the right color.
Oh, you're in New York too, man. Where are you at, Redman? You're not in New York.
No, I'm in Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, yeah, you're on the East Coast, though. Skygazer, you're making some noise.
Yeah, I'm right below Florida, give or take 3-hour ride.
You're around like chocolates down there, in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm in McDonough. I think Chocolate's on the north side. I'm about 18 minutes away from my.
How long?
Probably about 20 minutes from Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Georgia's pretty big.
Nah, it's not actually that big. I mean, there is one thing I do. I want to go see the Georgia Guidestones. I want to go see that.
Yeah. You should link up with Chocolate, man. You guys should go out there, take some pictures.
Should knock him over or something.
Nah, I'm not getting arrested. I was watching a documentary on those Georgia Guidestones, and do you know that they really haven't been up that long? It wasn't no ancient civilization that put those Georgia Guidestones up. That was man in the 20s.
Yeah, there's some weird shit about that. Like nobody admits to like actually doing it. There was no permits pulled. They just like showed up one day. Like, and the government doesn't force them to get taken down. Instead, it's a tourist attraction. Like,
They make it sound like some aliens, some other race put them up. Come on now.
No. Yeah, some freaking elitist assholes decided to put that there.
Yeah, I would like to go. Just say I did go out there, check it out, see what's up.
All right. Well, at least take a piss on it.
Didn't someone do a load of graffiti all over it at one point?
Yeah, they did graffiti to them. They went back and cleaned them back up.
What y'all's talking about?
George's Guidestones.
Evening turn up.
Turn up for what?
How'd y'all know that was me?
We felt your vibe.
Your name?
Oh, damn it. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, the little thing next to your name lights up green when you're talking.
Exactly.
Shit.
The dead giveaway every time.
Hello, Turn Up.
Hello, Mary Mom. You know, I'm supposed to be the bouncer. You think I'd know these things?
Yeah, you need some more job training.
Good evening.
Evening, Bev. Evening, Emma.
Good evening.
So, I'm just doing a little bit of yard work, so I'm just going to listen in.
Cool.
Nice.
Good. Nice to have you.
What are you working on back there?
Right now, I'm trying to get rid of a whole freaking whack load of leaves.
Nice.
Yeah, it's for my mom.
Yeah, we were going to do the leaves today, but then it rained all day, so it's put off.
Oh, no way. So that means tomorrow is.
We'll get to it.
Yeah,
Rain all day tomorrow for turn up. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be
Yeah.
raining up here too.
It's on your way. On your way.
That's it.
So raining here.
Is that Red Man?
No.
I'm here.
Who is the other guy? Oh, crap. I didn't even know. I didn't even see you in here. What's up?
You might want to turn me back down. I'm about to get on my computer.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you, and then Wesley in the house.
Turn down?
Yeah, I unfortunately had to turn some people down this morning because they were taking over the stream talking about crap.
Oh, actually, thank you for doing that. That's my job. I mute trolls like Turn Up. No, I'm just kidding. No, I never muted you. I don't think so.
Flat Earth time capsule.
You fucking troll.
It gets you every time, doesn't it?
This guy's a troll, man. He comes into a Flat Earth server and he's like, yo, man, we gotta start a Flat Earth time capsule, man.
Then you find out that I'm serious and genuine.
Yeah. Nah, you good, bro. I just... Hey, man, I voted for you for gold, so... Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You got my vote.
The stuff that I would put in that, man, it would. I just fill it full of clothes. That way they could just walk around just with nothing but Flat Earth stuff on them. Just like have all the questions written all over clothes.
He said, if the earth is a globe, why are my chicken nuggets burnt? That's a good point, man. How do you explain that on a globe earth?
It's flat. The sun only hits one side of that chicken nugget.
Word. It's a reconcilable.
Rotisserie Earth. I like it. You live on a rotisserie.
Work? How do toasters work?
No,
How did George Foreman grills work on a globe? Like, wouldn't it it be like tilted?
Yeah, all that fat would run to one side. Yeah.
Like, why would they
Yeah.
tilt the grill?
Oh,
Actually,
it'd be level.
because the George
It's like
Foreman
a
globe already
commercial.
built it.
Right?
No,
You see
that's
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah, I mean, if the Earth is a globe, then why are pitas flat?
If the Earth is a globe, why are my feet flat?
Ooh.
Just saying. No, they're not
Yeah.
really flat. Some people have flat feet. So how do you
Jose,
explain that?
you don't have an arch in your foot?
No, well, I do, but some people don't. So, like, how do you explain that? How does that work on a globe? How are they walking right now?
No, but I mean, have you guys not seen that commercial where the dad and the kid goes out camping and they're about to roast marshmallows and the kid can't get his fucking marshmallow to light, so the dad's like, just tilt it 23.5 degrees, and as soon as the kid does that, the whole thing goes up in flames.
What kind of commercial is that?
Yeah, bro. There's like, and it's like, man, I think it's like around Christmas time. So
Wait, did he say just tilt it 23.5 degrees?
yeah, he told the kid that just tilt it 23.5 degrees.
What's the Earth tilt again? Was it 23 point? No, is it 23.4?
Yeah, it's 23.4, but the guy said 23.5.
Well, you know, they like to round up so it doesn't look satanic. I noticed that with all of the.
They now like to say it's got on a little bit of a wobble, so it varies from 23.4 or 23.3 to 23 point something. But yeah, it was for a very long time 23.4 until somebody started mentioning that, you know, the opposite, the other angle was a bit of a weird number. Then then it started to wobble a bit.
Yeah, same thing with the 66,000 miles per hour, 66,600 miles per hour. You know, a lot of the websites, they try to round up and it, you know, makes it look less satanic. But if you go to the NASA official like specs sheet, you know, for the Earth, which I've done, and I have it, you know, I'm sure I can find it somewhere on my bookmarks. But it gives you all those satanic numbers, like officially on the NASA website. So anyone debating that, they're just dumb. They're you know, they're trying to cater to their narrative that, oh no, it's just you know, it happens to be that.
It's a coincidence.
You know, coincidence if it was one, but I mean, the fact that it's the tilt, it's the orbital speed, and it's the rate of curvature, that's a bit of a coincidence. And I'm not like religious, you know, but that doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of coincidence, just like these convenient numbers. You know, you got your 33.3s and your 66.6s and your, you know, when it comes to like the size of the Earth, it's like an approximation. So this is me doing what they did, but like, okay, like if you round down 24,000 miles in circumference, well, then it breaks down with 24 time zones exactly to 1,000 miles. You know, 1,000 miles per hour for the sun and 1,000 mile in each time zone, and like you got these convenient numbers to work with. That doesn't sound like they just reverse engineered it to break it for easy figuring mathematically. Not at all. Like, you know.
So, isn't there one problem with this theory, which is, aren't these numbers decided long?
What was that? Go ahead, man.
Aren't these numbers decided a long time before the mile appeared? Like, didn't we know these things?
That is a good point, Beach. Like I was thinking that the meter, it comes out like when you look at like all the numbers for the Earth, it's like they're more clean with like more zeros in meters.
Right.
So
And some of them, you'll go back and you'll find like it was like, I don't know, let's say, I can't remember, like let's say Newton came up with one of them, and that's the number we use. Well, the mile doesn't come into existence until like the 18th century or something, the mile that we have today. So it'd be hard to imagine that you know what I mean? It's hard to see how that would be a connection.
That is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. But it does happen to convert into these 666s. So
yeah, it does.
It's weird. No, that is a good point, though. I mean,
Fine,
yeah.
yeah. So then, if you believe in coincidence, then which it would have to be, right? Like, I don't know. All of a sudden now, this by you pointing that out, it again lends back to my. It's not like that I live by it, but possibility of everything just being a fucking simulation. How real is any of this?
I'm with you on that. I totally agree. I think it's a very likely a possibility.
Nice one, Mindy.
Every time we bring that up, I bring that up. You know, usually people want to take it down that whole conversation route, and I don't want to, so we'll just leave it at that.
But that wasn't a simulation just now. I really just
Well,
did that.
no, it could have been. That's the thing. It's just a really good simulation. Like it's a dank simulation right there.
Maybe. I can't argue with that. That's the problem. You know? There's nothing you could say. Well,
I mean, like what we were talking about a little bit ago, how, you know, it's just it kind of depends on what a person is willing or able to see. You know, like for how they see this whole debate. It seems that you can equally see the Earth to be flat as you can see it to be a globe, depending on how you open up your mind. And like, again, you know, like if it was real, it would be obvious one way or the other, in my opinion. But it's, you know, to say that it's everything is just a philosophical debate, basically. Again, it kind of points towards simulation. Maybe it can be equally real, depending on how you want to view it. You know, like it's just it's very strange to me.
Well, I mean, it's all dependent on your assumptions. You know, like, okay, you can look at a flat horizon and you can say one of two things. You can say, oh, well, you know, it's flat because it's flat. Or you could say, well, it's flat because, and then, you know, you can bring in an assumption that, well, we're on a ball since I'm assuming that. So it's such a big ball that we're not seeing any curvature, you know, so that's like, but that assumption comes from, that was given to us by people, by men, you know, so that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah. Do you see that?
You know?
What I put in the chat there? I noticed Scott said about the mile didn't come into whatever at a certain time or whatever. Well, that jogged my memory about the meter. Well, the history of the meter, it's a measurement based on a sphere, isn't it? A presupposed sphere. So that the whole
right. Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's and I heard Bong say that before, and I looked into it. You know, that's why I brought up that if you look at the numbers in meters, it's like clean. You know, they make these clean numbers, and it's because the meter itself was actually based off of the presupposed, as you say, it's presupposed sphere. Ooh, that's a kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Presupposed sphere.
I'm not so sure whether the mile was actually measured like that, so I don't know. I'd have to look into the mile. I've never really looked at the mile yet.
It's retarded. I mean, the whole whatever you call it. What is the system? Not metric, but what's the other one? Yeah. Imperial. It's so retarded. It's retarded.
Well, I think the way I understand the old imperial system, it's based on real life things like the foot. The horses of the measurement for horses is still in hands.
Yeah,
like the inch is like the little digit of your thumb. You know, like I think it's a standard sort of.
Yeah.
See, I've had the whole debate about imperial versus metric with people before, and like, being in construction.
Yeah.
I personally like, but I was obviously raised with this. But the imperial using fractions, I think it's easier to build with instead of having to count off. Yeah, I mean, you could probably be more accurate, but you're as accurate as you need to be with Imperial.
Base 12 works
and-
better, doesn't it? Like, because it just
But-
divides easier as well. You know, it works.
Yeah,
it's
it
easier
works
to mentally
really.
work with.
It works really nice that way. Like having to work with, like 10 millimeters in a centimeter and 10 centimeters in a decimeter and 10 meters in whatever. Like you just have way too many increments. Your eyes can't. You can't like spot it out and mark it fast. Like and it doesn't. I mean, sure you can still break it down, but when you start dealing with like, too many digits and too many zeros, things like this. Like I don't know. It's just it works good with large things like in science or something like that, or vast distances. I can see where metric, because it scales well, at larger distances or measurements and things like
Right.
that. But if I'm working within a yard or a foot or an inch,
You
I
have
like
more
being I like fractions. I really do like
But now you
fractions
have
of the
more
inch.
increments. But I guess if you have 12, your base 12, then you could have increments of thirds and fourths. I get more freedom with that. But
Right.
you think,
Right.
but let me just say, and I'm not arguing because you're a builder, and I take your opinion pretty seriously.
Well-
but you would think that wouldn't the
Mm.
metric system, since it's base 10, wouldn't you think that would be a
Well,
little bit more?
No,
like what-
here's really the real reason. It's because of the way your materials come, and it's probably because of the imperial system. But if I get a roll of aluminum coil, it comes
Right.
it comes in 24 inches wide. Well, that breaks down nicely where I can cut 3-inch strips, 6-inch
Well,
strips,
of
8-inch strips,
course.
12-inch strips.
Of course.
Or if I've got 4x8 sheets of OSB, like it just works really well. It's
Yeah.
for modular type design and stuff like that.
That's based on the way that it's packaged.
But that's they use the same materials over there, but then they convert it over to metric, and that's where it gets confusing.
Okay. I mean, look, man, you're a builder, so I'm not going to even sit here and argue with you. But I would think that metric would be simpler for
We call,
mental math type things, but I guess not.
if you have we have like a 10-foot cord, they're going to call it they'll get the same cord. We're ordering a 10-foot cord. They're going to order a 3 point whatever, like a 3.1 or 3.2 meter, cord or something like that. And
Yeah.
it gets a little weird when you're trying to okay, well, how much is 0.2 of a something?
Right.
Right.
And it can get tricky. Yeah, well, think about it this way: if you're working with smaller scale with a metric with the imperial system, you have more increments, so you can actually, in a way, it's more precise on a smaller scale.
I mean, we can get just as precise. We do, within the inch. You're going to measure halves, quarters, eighths, 16ths, 30 seconds, and
That's
if you
what
get
I'm
into,
saying.
you can go to 64ths, and if you're in 30 seconds, you're already in a smaller increment than a millimeter.
Well, it's actually kind of cool because you know what? It all makes sense now because I'm thinking of music, and in the Western scale, you have 12 tones, so it all makes sense now, dude. I get it. Holy shit.
Right. So yeah. So hey, interesting thing here. A lot of people here in this channel, they don't want to ultimately debate, this globe ideology. So everyone who wants to kind of explore things where they've already acknowledged the flat Earth, let's hop into live stream 2. And there
You're
we
welcome
can
to have
discuss
that conversation here. We're just, I don't know. You want to bring something up? Go ahead. You don't have to try to move people.
No, I don't think it's welcome. That's why I'm inviting people to join into this other channel, live stream 2, and let's hop on there. And then
We'd be happy to
this
debate. We'd be happy
here.
to debate with you on flat Earth.
All right. So see ya.
Wait, aren't you a flat earther though? Anyways,
Yeah, he's forgot what he's acting as, isn't he?
I think so.
it pays better to be a globe earther. I heard.
Pays better, way better.
Oh, I'm gonna pop in and see what he's about. He's more of a monologuer. You know, we have like monologuers.
Just don't take a live stream with you.
Okay.
Like, go on,
gotcha.
just see how long he lasts when he notices he hasn't got a live stream.
Well, Tracy's in there and Mad Philosopher. I haven't seen him in a while, so let's see what's up.
Well, wait, what do you mean? You don't want to move one of the two live streams
No,
into there?
I think if he's getting paid, then he's after a bit of
I
live
don't-
stream time, isn't he? He's after getting his
Let's see.
paid screen time.
If he's
Yeah, but
saying
you-
cool stuff, maybe I'll move like
Yeah,
the.
yeah. I mean, if he sounds genuine and all that, like move one in.
Let's
But
see. All right, let's see what's up.
don't automatically send him over there and go like, "Ooh, look at this," because he's just going to be causing a hoo-ha. He's going to be.
I'm actually gonna jump down to the G4L and play some Warframe with Miguel.
Yeah, sweet.
So, yeah.
Actually got me into looking at this, the mile. It's all paces. It's like actual things.
When was it actually?
Apparently,
When did they come into being? As I was guessing.
the Rome, I don't know. Like the when you look at the mile, right? It only came in as a international agreement in 1959. Believe it or not.
Yeah. I believe
But
that.
that was because it
I
was.
know there's a-
That's because they had to agree international agreement to get it standardized as an amount of meters.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a bunch of different miles too. Like the French have a mile that's different, and I think the American mile, the British mile used to be different.
Looking at the Roman mile, which would have been the standard mile, I think, where it all worked from. Like the milestone would be a stone going out from Rome on paved thingy, but it's 1,000 paces, and a pace would be one step and then the next step. So it would be the complete movement of 1 foot through, I think, a pace. One of them 1,000 times would be classed as a Roman mile. Italian mile, pretty similar. But I mean, I'm guessing if your peoples are a little bit smaller, then like it would. I don't know. I don't know how it would work. Whether there would be a standard sized
The Norwegian mile would be a little bit longer than the
yeah. Well, so then it comes down. You go through Italian and the Arabic, and they're all pretty much similar sort of thing. But they're always comparing it to kilometers, so it's a little bit weird. I suppose they've got to compare it to something. But then it says the Old English mile is measured to about 1.3 international miles. But the Roman computations of the mile, as in what were still equated in the UK. So I mean, it's a bit confusing. But then that they call that then a furrow's length or a furlong, which would be the horse racing term.
Yep.
For the UK, and then the Welsh and all that. Well, the Welsh mile was 3 miles, which they're only little, the Welsh people, aren't they? So I mean that's understandable. That it was it compromised 9,000 paces, the Welsh mile. And the Scots mile's longer than the English mile again. So yeah, they're all based on like a standard of that you can, like it's a physical thing. Whereas the meter is based upon a presupposed model. It's just interesting you brought it up. Yeah, so I think you'd have to say the standard of the, I don't know, the meter would be that like Copernican, would it? And then you'd be thinking Roman for the mile. I don't know whether the meter would go all the way back to Copernicus, though, would it? That'd be a bit hard to trace it back that far.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because they still talk in staves, don't they? And staves relate to miles.
Yeah, or staves. I thought it was no staves. No, stave is the thing. Staves is the short one, right? Stave is a portion of a stadium.
I don't know. Wasn't it like so many staves that Alexandra was away from Said?
Maybe you're right. I thought it was stadia, but maybe you're right. You're probably right. Actually, I probably just misremembering. It's so weird. It's so complicated. It's like time. Like we take these things for granted, but when you really start looking at the nitty gritty of like time or like distance, it's insanely complex.
I don't think so. I think it's only as complex as you want to try and make it. It's
well,
pretty
like
simple, really. Time is just
time is a nightmare, dude. When I, like writing as a computer programmer, if I want to write something that deals with time internationally correctly, it's shocking how much like work it is. It just never ends. You think it's like pretty straightforward, like just get a time zone. It's just never like that. It's so complicated.
Well, what are you trying to do though? Within that,
just
how do you relate time to a thing? Because it's just a measure of what happens with the day and night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about converting between all the different formats and all the different kinds of all the different time zones and mapping them all up, and then figuring out how to deal with like the boundary conditions of like a future day and a past day, and getting all that sorted out.
Wow, that's.
I guess I should say it's programmatically.
Crazy. Yeah, but it does.
Again?
I don't have that problem in
It's
my
more
life.
like busy work, I think.
Time doesn't bother me that much. I just wake up and do my thing, and then go to sleep and wake up the next day and do the similar. I don't really relate to time that well.
What do you mean? Like you just don't think about it?
Yeah. The missus said to me, like, I said, I was like vortexing water and I had to take 15 minutes, but she went, when did you start? I went, I don't know. I never really think about things like that.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
I think if you start thinking about time too much, then you're letting the concept of something control you.
Yeah, although I do think about it to the extent that it seems to move faster and faster as you get older, and I think about ways to stop that.
I don't think it can. I think that's what it naturally does. I mean, it would be good if you were taught that in schools, but when you're young, you never hear what old people say to you.
Yeah, it's true. They say it, but you never hear it. Yeah.
And like
you so don't get how
important it was that time back then.
Yeah. So true. There's a psychologist in UC San Diego who's doing like experiments with our perception of time, and they're pretty cool. They're like, he does things like take subjects and put them on those like those Tower of Terror rides at amusement parks where it just drops people like 200 feet.
I thought you were going to say drugs.
Drugs? No. He puts them on these rides, whatever. That no, these are not drugs. And then like does things to test like does their perception of time speed up or slow down when they're scared and stuff. It's interesting stuff.
Okay, so y'all told me to tell when they were back, and they're back on like the voice check-in now. So if anybody wants to check them in.
They're your mates.
Does anybody want to check them in?
I don't know if anyone can.
I can't. Sorry.
Veach will do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just point me in the right direction. I'll interview them, challenge them on their flat Earth beliefs.
Okay, cool.
Tell them Earth is a globe. They're wasting their time here.
I should be all like furtive, like, listen, I only have 30 seconds, but you got to get out of here before they get here. You got to go. Run.
Okay. Well, I hope somebody goes and check them in. Because I can't do it. I'm not privileged enough. I have a not here to learn tag. Yeah. I have some cool tags though, like one that says not here to learn.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. That I haven't got that one yet.
One of my favorites. I used to have one that says Cupcake Queen, but then they got rid of it. I had one that was like valued, but then they got rid of that one. But it's all good though.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't sound like it's bothered you.
Yeah. Is anybody? Are you eating? What's it called? Cereals? It sounds like it.
Oh, sorry. I thought I am eating, but I thought I had my. I guess I'm supposed to be.
What are you eating?
A bunch of stuff.
Like what?
Oysters, clams, papaya,
Oh my
pear,
God, I love papaya.
fish, olives. We got a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I love olives and I love fish. Oh, that sounds so good. Not gonna lie. I love food. Okay, cool. Wait, who was gonna check them in? I forgot. Okay, well, if anybody wants to, I mean, they could give me, what's it called? The thing so I can check them in. Okay, cool. Does anybody want to talk? No. Wait, maybe.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Anything.
I want to talk about flat Earth. Do you want to have a go at water level? That's a good one.
The water level?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the water level?
Well, you know the word level, don't you?
What?
You know the word level, like... Wait.
No, I mean, like, what's the number? What is, like... I know what it means.
What's the number for water level?
Yeah, I was asking.
I'd have to give it a 0.
Oof. Have you not been in the ocean?
On the curvature scale, water level would be a 0.
I've been in the ocean. And I'll tell you, it's pretty deep.
What, sea?
Look, I was in Italy one time, and we were on those, like, boat random things. And I fell off it, and I felt like a shark was gonna eat me. Not my brightest moment, but I didn't get eaten though, so I survived.
You were on a boat, were you?
Yeah, I was on a boat. No, you know
think-
those boats that like
Yeah, do you
have
think
like
was
things
that boat
behind
going
it?
uphill or downhill on that water?
It was going uphill actually.
On the water?
Yeah.
Sweet. You were a bit,
Yeah, I know.
bit
Pretty
behind
cool,
the curve, were you?
Right? No, it's just like it's just the ocean, you know, bro.
Zanik the other day, he was ahead of the curve. He was going downhill all the time.
Yeah, and then like it had like a
You're
banana.
going uphill, are you?
It had it had like a banana on the end of it, and we were like it's like one of those big banana floaties, and I was sitting on there with like my brother and my friends, and then I fell off, and I was kind of scared, but I survived. Yes. Okay. Why is nobody still at the voice check-in? I'm kind of.
They'll be busy.
What do you mean?
The mods will be busy.
The mods are busy.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Can I be a mod?
they'd be in there. I don't know. I don't give out the
dang.
mod chips. That's not on me.
I hope I can become a mod one day so I can unban my friend who got banned on here.
Really?
Yeah. You won't unban him. Even she unbanned me though. I got banned and then she unbanned me.
Well, what did you get banned for?
For telling my opinion to Doxia. She asked for my opinion and then I told her and then she like told Shekel, she was like ban her, ban her, ban her.
Well,
and that's how I got banned.
Just because you had an opinion.
Yeah.
Was
And
that that a really pleasant opinion?
No, she asked my opinion about guns and I was like, I don't like them. And then she got really mad at me.
No, I don't think so.
That's literally what happened. And then she's like, but if you were
I wouldn't
disabled...
say literally, because that would mean then...
Okay, here's what literally happened. She was like, so what if I...
This would be on record, I would imagine, because you've been banned.
Yeah, it would be on record.
So the banning would be on a matter of record. For you to be able to say literally something, and then, like, if something was on record...
Yeah, this could be a record. I'm not lying about me getting banned.
No, I'm not saying that.
Do you want to know something else? My friend got banned.
I fully believe that you've been banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend referenced a meme by Gordon Ramsay, which was really stupid, and I told him that, but then he got banned, and I was like, dang, you're pretty stupid.
He referenced...
Well, he said the meme. You know how Gordon Ramsay...
He posted the meme.
No, not posted. He said it on, like, the live stream.
He said it?
Yeah, the meme is pretty bad, though. Should I say it?
A spoken word meme?
Yes, it's one of those.
I wouldn't say it, because if somebody else has already been banned for saying it on the live stream...
No, it's not, like, bad. It's just, like, he said it at somebody, which is, like...
I would still, like, take heed from the fact that somebody has been banned from saying it. And,
yeah, because
and not
it was to somebody.
Repeat that mistake that somebody else has already made.
That's true. But it was like he said it to somebody. I don't think they understood it was a meme, and I was just like, that's stupid.
I don't think. Yeah, you best forget.
Okay, I won't say it.
Yeah.
I won't say it because I don't want to get banned. Because my friend is waiting at the voice check-in, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, they are your friends, are they then?
No, only one.
Only one of them.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Is that your friend's friend?
No.
Do you want me to go and start the check-in?
Yes, please.
I can't actually check them in, but I can start it. I can have a chat with them. Do you want me to go and do that?
Yes. Can I come in too? I want to talk to them.
I don't know whether you can get in. Can you? I wouldn't presume.
No, I can't.
Oh, well, no. I'm sorry. I don't have the. I don't have that. So yeah.
Oh wait. I'll go to live stream too because I see Becky's in there. And I'll ask her. Becky's nice though.
Yeah.
At least she was nice to me the first day.
Becky's very nice, yeah.
I love her. She's Australian. And then Medif is on there. I love him. Dang. Oh yeah. I recognize some people on here like the Republicas. I recognize that person. And Fee Batman, I recognize that person. And, do y'all know who Ross is? Okay, cool.
I don't know. Hello, Bidrak. Been unmuted, mate.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing? How'd you find your way here?
My friends.
Your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Are they already on here?
They are.
Who would they be?
They are. Let me find their username. They're not on it. I don't know.
So somebody from here?
Well, they are on it. They're just not on it right now.
Okay.
I don't know their usernames. This is my first time on Discord.
Oh, jolly good. So, like, they invited you to hold the Discord thing and everything.
Yep.
Very nice. Is this your friend? Oh.
Geo? No.
No, not Geo. The girl that was just in here then, Fifi.
Oh yeah, that's my friend.
I moved her up here because she wanted to listen, but then she left.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Bidrak said his friend wasn't on here, but then Fifi was his friend. There was somebody else in here with you as well. Is that your friend?
Who?
I don't know.
Fifi?
No, before when I came up here, there was somebody else here. Is that one of your friends? No.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
So
how this works.
Fifi's the one that invited you here.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Why did you want to come here? Like, Fifi invited you. Is that the reason, or what? Why did Fifi invite you here personally? What is it that you
She's like, you should check out this Flat Earth Discord. So I did, and then I've been researching why Flat Earth theory it could be possible.
You think it's a theory?
I mean, I do understand it. I'm indecisive right now. I just wanted your guys' opinion.
Well, have you seen the mountains and valleys? Right, on the land.
Yep.
It's lumpy and bumpy, isn't it? It's definitely not flat, is it? Like, I see that. You see that as well, don't you?
Yeah.
But the water is level, isn't it? The natural state of fluids is to find their own equilibrium. So water will find its own level. It will run downhill until it finds a puddle or whatever.
Yep.
Where it can find its own level. Agree?
Agree.
Right, so you've got lumpy bumpy mountains and stuff, and then level water. So is that a flat earther to you? Somebody that believes that? Because that's what I believe. And I'm on this Discord talking with all of these fine people and getting some really good feedback and stuff.
Okay.
So you'd agree with that then? So would you be coming in here as a flat earther also? Or at least with the willingness to believe that you could be a flat earther? Inverted commas. Were you after like a speaking pass or something to go into the live stream, or were you like, because we do have live streams, so you have to watch what you say. Actually, Geo, you're a mod, aren't you? Yeah. See, like, Geo's a mod here. Geo can give you whatever you need. What would you be after? Would you be after pitting your wits in the live stream? Debating or hello, is this working? Hello?
I can hear you, but I don't know.
Thank
I
you.
haven't heard him respond.
Yeah.
Bidrak, are you still?
Had to walk away from your mic or something. We didn't get very far with that, actually. That was seems pretty short.
Yeah, he didn't seem to want to talk much.
I think he's been invited here by Fifi, but he seems a bit unsure as to why he's actually turned up. Might have been forced to do it, actually. Oh, there you go. Sorry, mate.
Oh,
yeah, they're not that brave, are they?
I was in live stream too, man. That Skygazer guy. He was just complaining about the server the whole time, and we're just telling him, "All right, dude, I get your feedback. That's cool, but like, can we move on now?" And he's just complaining. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, he's been an issue since day one. He used to have a different account. One time on the live stream,